Hello and welcome to the Artisan of Glimmith. I'm Tom, and in this video I will be conquering the puzzles on the Spiral Island. But to get there, the Spiral Island, I have to solve this puzzle first, which is a difficulty 6. And indeed it will take some time. So we have a shape bank, mingle shape, palisade and difference. But the main thing being the shape bank and the palisade, right? The mingle shape, sorry. So let's start at the top here. Here we need at least 2 for the shape bank. 3 is not possible because of that shape. L would also not be possible, and the 6, I will call them 2, 3, 4 and 6 is also not possible, so this has to be a 2. Here I can only have a 3 then, because I have a 2, an L, a 6 all around it. Then here I need to extend at least 2. Now this could be a 2 or an L. An L wouldn't be able to extend here because of the mingle shape, right? So it could only extend down here. In any event, I can't move up there. If it's a 2, it stays there. If it's an L, it can't go up there. That in turn means that I need for this tile either a 2, can't have a 3, can't have a 4 also. That would have to be completed like this with another 2 here. Actually, I could have another L here, right? 2, actually that would work, right? Can't have the L like that, but I can have the L like this actually. No, not like this, that would work. With a 2 here. So I don't know this, what to put in there. I also don't know what to put in here. So let's look here on this side then. This can be a 2 at least. It can't be a 3, it can't be a 4. So it also can't be a 6, that doesn't fit in there. So this has to be a 2 then. And here we need a 3 then, or a 6. 3 would not be possible like this, but like this. And a 6 could be put in like this. But then I would need a 3 here. That doesn't work. Or an L. Also doesn't work. So I can only have a 3 in here like this. Which means here I need, what do I need? An L. Can't do that like this. Could only do it like this. But then again I would need a 3 here. Which I'm not allowed. Or 2. Which means I would need a 3 there. Which is not possible. So this cannot be an L. It then must be a 6. I can't have 2. L doesn't work. This way. 2. Yeah, L doesn't work. It must be a 6. And then this is a 2. So here we need an L then, because we have 2, 3 and 6 all around it. Here we must have what then? An L. Can't be completed into this direction. Can't complete it here because of the mingle shape. So it needs to at least extend here. And here it can't finish there because of the shape that would be created. It has to end here. Now here I can't have 3, I can't have 4. I need 2 or 6. The 6 doesn't fit into this slot. So this must be a 2. Here we have 2 L. So we need a 3 here, because a 6 again doesn't fit into this slot, right? So that's a 3 like this. And here we can only have a 2 because we have 3, 4 and 6 all around it. Okay. So here this tile needs to go into this palisade symbol, right? And then it has to extend 1 more. These symbols are always signs of L's here, right? Can't finish there. Has to finish here. Then here we have this thing, which will become a 6. Here we need to extend out of this niche now. If we leave this a 2, it could be a 3 or a 2, right? If we leave this a 2, we would need another 2 here. That's not allowed, so that has to be a 3. And this has to become a 6 like this then. Here we have a 2 then. And here we could have a 3 or a 2, we don't know. But here we have this. No, we need a 3 actually. Yeah, now that we have this here also, this is going to become a 6. This can't be a 2. It can only be a 3. Can't be a 6. L doesn't fit, so a 3. Now, let's go on here first. This one has to be like this, right? Here we can't extend the L. So this has to be a 3 or an L. However, since we have this here, this will definitely become an L. This means this one cannot be an L because we have this as a mingle shape, or even if we have this, I can't put an L there, right? So this must be a 3, and this here is an L. However, the L can't move there because he will also be an L. Either like this, or like this, which means that this L has to be finalized into this direction. This also has to be vertical, right? Because otherwise it would touch, the two L's would touch. So they have to be like this. This one can't extend here anymore. It also can't extend down here because of that shape, so it has to move up. And this one here can only be said that we need this. This inside here must be a 2, and then this is finalized like this or like that, depending on where we have the extra tile for the 6 here, right? So let's look at this 3 here now. It could go down. This would mean that here, this tile has to extend into this shape, and then we create another 3 here, right? So that's not an option. This one has to move up, is finished like this, and this then is part of the 6. Meaning that here, for this tile, we need a 2 like this, and the L is completed like this on the right side going up. So now we can see here that this L has to be finalized on the left side to the bottom. Like this. Here we need a 2 also. Here we need a 2. Here we could have a 2 or a 3. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. But we can't say that this is not possible, because this would create an L regardless where I'm turning. So this must be a cutoff, and this one is moving there. This can't stay a 2 actually here because of this. This has to be a 3, which means this is a 3 this way. Which is a problem I see now. Ah no, this must be a 3 and this must be an L then. Nope, it can't be an L. Yeah, actually that's correct. It can't be an L. It has to be a 6. It can be a 6 only in this direction. Everything else is correct. This must be a 6. Yeah. Which means here we have either a 2 or an L. No, L is not possible. 3 is not possible. This can only be a 2. Right? It can't be a 3 because of this one. It can't be an L because of this one. It could be an L like this, but here we would cut off something. So this must be a 2, right? 2, 3, 4, 6, yes. And this one needs to extend here, but here we don't know. It could be a 3 into this direction or into this direction. It can't be an L if I'm not mistaken, because of this shape here or this shape here. So we can cut this off here. This is a 3, going either up or down. Or it stays a 2, may also be. Okay, on to the final section of this board here. We can start with this one here. We need at least 2 here, and given the difference we need here, we can't make this a 3 because we would need an L like this. That would be possible. No, actually, let's not look at this. Let's look at this one here, the 4. If this is a 2, the difference is the 6. If we put 3 or 4 in there, we wouldn't be able to build a difference. Yeah, so this one has to be a 6. Let's write that in there. Oops, that's a 0. No. Like this. And then let's look how we can complete the 6. Because the first instinct is to put it in like this with the corner, but we're creating this empty shape here, right? So we can't use this corner of the 6 shape to create the 6. Let's see what other options we have. We could do something like that also, but that creates an empty shape there. In any respect, like what we just did was putting the plus sign. That's how I like to look at this shape here and then extend it into this area. That doesn't work. And that's why we need to put the plus sign here, and then let's see, we could put the extend the 6 part here or there, but in both cases I end up with an empty spot there, so we have to complete the 6 like that. That's the only way to reach this tile and not create an empty space there or cut something off here, yeah? Okay, so that means in turn that here we need a 4 and here we need a 3. Like this. What else? I think next is to realize the following. The 3 here has to be either like this, right? Or like this. That means we need a 3 here as well. I'll just write it in now. Even though it's automatic sort of, but the main thing being that we need a 6 here. Okay. Also here, on one side of this border here, we need a 6. Because 2 and 6 is the only difference we can have with of 4, right? Now the 6 can't be inside here because the shape doesn't fit there, so we need a 6 here also. Yeah? And furthermore, we have the 3 here. This can also only be a 3 and a 6. And the 6 doesn't fit in here because the only way that would work is like this, and you create this empty tile here again. Like if you want this corner to be part, or this tile part of the 6, it doesn't work without creating an empty space there, which in turn means that you also need a 6 on the other side here. Yeah? And now it becomes apparent that this 6 here can't come from above there because that's a 2, right? It has to come from here, and now it automatically takes both of these in. We have this part now, we can only extend it like this, and that is our 6. Okay? Now here we need a 3, and let's take this scribbling away there. This one we can finalize. The 4 could be done in multiple ways, so we can't do stuff there yet. We need to look first at, let me see, actually maybe there is only one way to complete the 4 there. Let's see, here we have a 3, so this could be a 2 or a 4. Here we needed one, here we need a 3 first of all. Let's do that first. And here we have another 6. Like the difference 4 indicates there is a 6. Can't be on this side here, right? Oops, sorry, it doesn't fit in here. Yeah, you can't get there sort of with the shape that we have, so it has to be on this side. And then it needs to take this one and can only be put in like this. Which means we have a 2 here. And we need a 4 here then. Yeah? Okay, and then there is another 6. It has to be here, around here, the 3, right? You can't put it on this side of the border, because again you're creating an empty shape, or like a forbidden shape. So it has to be on the other side of the border. This one has to be a 3, which can only be put in like this, right? Because otherwise, again, we would create a forbidden region. Yeah? So we have the 3 like this, and then the 6 can't be put in like that, right? Whoops, like that, because of this forbidden shape again. And I think actually the only other option to put it in is like this then. I'm not 100% sure, but like we can't access, like given due to this border here, we can't access it from down here, this tile. We also can't access the tile from here, sort of. So that's the only option, to put the 6 in. Yeah. Which means here we need at least 2. And that can it be a 3? If we put in a 3, we would need a 3 here and another 2. That's not possible, right? And we can't put another 3 and a 2 like this because they can't touch. So we can't have 3 here. Can we have 4? That would basically be possible. No, we can't have because of the L up there. That's not allowed. So this must be a 2, which in turn means that here we need a 4. Now, given that this 4 can't go into these 2 tiles, it has to extend up there, either here or there. That means these 2 4s must be connected. And then the only question is where it extends. Can it extend here? Can it not extend here? Let's see. This one is possible because we have a 3 separating these 2s, right? Could it be done like this? Then we would need a 2 here, which I can't have. I would need a 3, but then it would need another 3 here also. So I can't extend it there. Could I not extend it? Oh no, right, just test it. If I have a border here, it doesn't work, so the 4 has to extend here. And what was it? It was a 3 here, right? Yes. So now we need a 2 here. The 3s here have to be connected like this then. Now I can delete it, or no, I leave the 4 in, because we need the 4 here still, right? No, actually I can clear this now. I cannot finish the 4 like this, because then we would need either a 3 and 1 or 2 and 2, which is not allowed. So the 4 has to be completed like this, with a 2 there and a 2 here. Okay, we did it. Now we have another letter to read. Great Artisan of Glimmith. Your skill shines through every pane of glass you've touched. Furthermore, I have delivered a collection of weighty designs across these lands and laid them atop crimson plinths. Should you rise to that challenge, you will have Glimith's unwavering regard. With gratitude, Elias Vidimus. So now we have the entrance here, and also this nice thing here. Well done, it shows you your progress. This is almost all white plinth and brown plinths. That's what I'm going to tackle now in this video, the remaining puzzles. And then after that is going to go on to the crimson plinths. So we have one puzzle solved here now. That was the difficulty 6 puzzle that I just solved, and there is one difficulty 1 puzzle. That's an inequality puzzle with difference in area numbers. That one is pretty obvious. Let's write in what we need here. This one has a difference of 2 and needs to be bigger than 5, so it is 7. Difference of 3, bigger than 5, 8. Difference of 2 smaller than 5 must be a 3. And difference of 3 smaller than 5 is a 2. Okay? So now if we add this, this is 10, this is 10. Together the outside area numbers add up to 20. And that's exactly what we have. So we need all the tiles. That means especially here, we can only reach this tile with the 3 now. Okay? Because if we went there, right, I would inadvertently cut the rest off with the 2, okay? So we need the 3 here. And now we simply need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the tiles. I can draw the border there. And the puzzle is complete like that. So we have 6 difficulty 2 numbers. There's 2 of them here. Here we have a loopy puzzle, so that means first off we can mark all the tiles on the edge of the grid. So then we need a difference of 7, and we have 9 tiles in here. That's exactly 1 and 8. I can't do it like that, right? Because here we're creating the loopy situation. We need to do this here. 7 around, 8 around, 1 inside, and on the outside you have, I think, 16, right, or something. Yeah, 16. So very similar puzzle now. The second difficulty 2 puzzle, it's also loopy. Actually the same layout, only now you have a 9 here. So you need a difference of 9, but you only have 9 tiles here. So it doesn't work. But what does work is if you look at the entire grid, you have 25 tiles. And you can separate this so that the 2 numbers have a difference of 9. And with 25, if you subtract 9, what do you end up with? That's actually, what is it, 16? So it has to be half of that or something, right? Yeah, it should be half of that. And then the other thing is 8 plus 9. So you have 8 and 8 plus 9 is 17. That's adds up to 25, so you need to create a situation. Here you have 16, so that means you need to add one tile to this one, and that can only be done here, and automatically end up with 8 on the other side. Okay? It's a bit of a mathematical puzzle. So the difficulty 2 puzzles were further down the road, I think. These are all higher difficulty. Oh, there is a 2, okay. Here we have the watchtower with these thingies here. And we also have bricky here. I didn't even notice that when I solved this, I think. Okay, but these are, first of all, the connections we must draw. Then because of the 2 here, we can also draw this border. And here, because of the 3, we need these 3 borders. And that in turn means we need to go all around here. So one of these has to be extended. One of these 2 colors. Here we need a border. Here we also need a border. And then we have another color here. Here we have a color. So the basic question here is what to combine. We need to either drag this one up for the 3, right? Either draw a border here or there. And then because of the 2 here, we would have to extend it in there. We can't do it with this one. This one cannot be extended. So if I drew this through here, yeah, if I draw this here, I will automatically create something that is not allowed, because I would have to combine it with this region now. As you can see here, you have the 2. We have one color in there that cannot be the same as this color because of that clue here. So that means I would have to combine it here. But then I end up with 4 no wait, that's 3 actually. And here we have 3. Is there a bricky situation? Oh yeah, that's a bricky situation here. You're not allowed that. That's the problem. That's why you can't complete it like this. You have to indeed do this here. And in order for only 2 different colors here, you have 1, 2. Even if you combine this, you still need this here, or you would have to extend this. Let's see, this one also has to be extended then. Right. So now you have the 3 here complete like this. Yes, if you did this, you would end up with too many regions. Now you need to combine this with one of these 2 regions. And also here you need only 2, so it has to be this one. And the border there, and the border there. This is a complicated puzzle for a 2, I think. I find these difficulty, these like looking comprehensively at all the different requirements that you have to fulfill. What's that? That's a 3. It's a 4. 2. Okay. Oh yeah, this one. Mainly we can look at the 1. I think that's the easiest to explain the mechanic of this puzzle, because there is a certain flow to it that you need to understand. You need to extend 1 south, right? So let's do this. Now, in order not to create a T-style intersection here, you have to add these things here, yeah? And indeed, that's true for everywhere. Like here, you can't keep it like this, right? Because you have a T-section, T-style section. So you need to extend this here and add 4 thingies like that in order to prevent only 3 borders to meet. Same is true here, same is true here. So in fact, in each of these intersections that you arrive in, you need to stop and then, you need to add all the 4 tiles around it. Yeah, you can see that with the 5. Even if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like you can't go like this, right? You need to fill these first of all, because here you can't have a border. And then at the end you need to add this. Here also, you can't stay like this, you need to extend always out of the center of this plus sign, and then you need to add these border thingies. Okay? So this is how you solve this. You also need that here. And that shows you now that the 3s, first of all, you need to extend them. Yeah? Here. And then, since you need 3 up, you can't go up here, because you can only add 1 more, and you will create 2 of these T sections or bricky thingy even, yeah. That's why you need to join these two and add the third one here. Yeah. And then you can, no, then you need to seal this off like that. Add this one too. And that should be it actually. Is it not? Oh yeah, I missed this one border there. Yeah, so 3 here. There's no other way to complete this. Also, if you have 1 here only, I would have had to go 2. You can't go 3 around the corner here. You're cut off by this thing already, so you would go here too. It doesn't work any other way. Anyhow, that's a 4. Well, usually the 2s are very easy to find here. It always takes time to find them, I think, and they're rather late in the game. Okay, let's calculate first, because that makes this puzzle very easy. You have the minimum amount this can have is 6, right? It has this tile plus 5 below it. So we have 6, smaller than 7, smaller than 8. Okay? If you calculate these together, you come with 6, 13 plus 8 is 21. And the exact amount is 21. So these are the numbers that we need here for these, yeah? And that shows that we can only have this. It could be here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or here. This is how you can complete this, but you definitely have a border around here, and also here. Can't move up, because that would make this puzzle unsolvable. So then you need a 7 for this one. You have 1, 2, 3, and then you need to make use of this tile here, because this one cannot be reached by the 5, right? So you need to go there. 4 can then only be done like this. You can already seal this. And like this you have 6. You need 1 more, so this must be here. Okay? That's 7 now. So the 6 is here. And that already completes the puzzle. 3, 2. There's 1. Okay, here we have a border. Yeah, this one must be like this. Then you need 1 color drag all the way around it. Ah, yeah, we have a precision 5. Alright, that's what I didn't mention. That's why this one is complete also. And then you can look at this here. This can only extend 1 down, so it needs 4 tiles here at least, right? And the 1 can be in any of these for the time being at least. And the same is true here. You need 4 tiles like this, and then you need 1 tile extension to the right at some point here. What else? Yes, you can say that this one here has to be the second color to this intersection, and since you can maximum extend here, you can already draw this down here. Then for the 2 here, you need something color like a region with this part at least, with these 3 connected, which means you can't add it to this one, because that's 3 already. The 2 must be here, and then it needs 1 more that can only be here, because this tile now indeed is this one for this compass clue, right? So we can complete these, and then we can't extend that, like, we can extend it, oops, we can extend it down here, but I can't reach this tile now, right? I will have to go here, or here, or here, and cut this one off. So this one has to be part of this region. Then we have another 5 here, and another 5 here. This one cannot be completed like this, because then we would have to put a border in here, and there would be a separate tile region. So that must be a U shape with a border here, and then we need 1, 2, 3, because here we need 1, 2, 3. That's 5 then, and this is also 5, which means this one has to extend there. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. This one obviously can't go up there, because we're creating a shape of 2. Has to be finalized here, and the last shape is this one. So I hope that's the last one. We have 8. Yes, indeed, that's correct. So coming up, what is it? 7 difficulty 3 puzzles. That's a 4. I think the first one is here. We have bricky. Let's start here. You can't have this here, 2 single tile regions, because you would automatically have to draw a border here also for a 3 and a 4, and that creates a bricky situation, right? So these two have to be combined, and you need a 4 on the left side. Let's write that in, and a 5 on the right side, okay? Like that. Which means you need these borders here at least, 4 and 5. Let's make that a bit brighter. Now how can you complete the 4? You can't do this because you can't fit a 4 in here, right? So you can't go down here, you have to use this one for sure. On the other hand, you can't go there, because then you would need, what is it, an 8 here, right? And you would have to move down here with the 5. So the 4 must be complete like this. And the 5 cannot move in here because then you can't complete it at all. It has to go here. You need a difference of 4 that can only be 1. And then the 5 cannot be completed like this because of this corner here. It would create a bricky problem. So the 5 is here. Now let's see, we need here for this T section, we need this one and this one as well, so that we don't get 4 corners meeting there. We also need something here. Yes, that's it. But this one cannot stop here, right? It has to move either this way in order not to create 4 borders crossing there, or this one. So that's a 4 at least. Can it be a 5 at all? We would need another 5 here. That could only be these tiles, but here we need a distance of, or a difference of 2. So this cannot be a 5, it must be a 4. So we need a 4 here, and then probably not a 6, but a 2 here, right? So we can first of all draw a border here, and you can see there's only one way to complete the 4 already, and a 2 here, and the 4 needs to go there, because here we still need 4 from this one. Yeah? And now we need a difference of 1 to 4, that's of 3 to 4. We need a difference of 3 to the 4, so that's 1, right? And another one. Okay. Window, what is it? Restored? Restored, yeah. Yes. So we have the 5. We need 3s. Some of the puzzles are very well hidden here. Okay, rows windows this time. 2 regions. Okay. We have 1 region here. So it means here and here I need the other region. And since this has to be this one, it has to move along the edge. There is no other way without creating a new region that wouldn't contain a rose symbol, right? So now that we started like this, we need to exit here. Given this border, we need to extend this one here. Here in these corners, we need the red region, because otherwise we would have 4 connected tiles in this section where I need 2 colors. Here I also need red. Now red can only move this way, and while it can only move there, this one has to be blue. Let's see what else. Here I can't have blue, I need red, which means here I need blue because of the border. And then red has to move here, connect to this one, and the only way through now to connect all of them is here. We have a border here, we need blue, and a border here, we need blue. So these 2 sections are connected here. For the border we need blue, and then they can only be connected like this. And another 3. Compass and watchtower here. This one is a little bit more difficult to explain, I'd say. The main thing being that these watchtower symbols with 2 dots, they in effect create a situation of loopy and bricky together. Yeah, because you can always only have, like, you always have either this connection in this, or this, right? It's always like either 3 or 2, right? And there is never 3 meeting. You always have 2. Only 2 borders meeting in this intersection. And that's true for all of these. It's not loopy because at the edge of the grid you can have more borders, or you can have one border sticking in. You can have 3 borders meeting, but inside where these things are, you can only have 2 borders meeting. And that's the main thing about this puzzle, that here you can't have the area or the region created by this compass. Like, first of all, they cannot be combined, these 3 compass regions, right? Because there's one to the top, there's only one to the south, and here you have one to the south only. So they are 3 separate regions, and they cannot touch because we always have the 2's here. Yeah. If they would touch, it would automatically create a forbidden like three borders meeting somewhere. Okay. And so you need these 3 regions, and you need one more region to separate them. And this region separating them must not be wider than 1 line like this. Can go around the corner like this, can have all these things, not like this, like can also not be like this, obviously, because you have here you have more than 2 regions, but anything like this is possible. So it's sort of like the rose windows thing, that you can't have 2, but here you have 3 regions, and they need to be separated by an independent 4th region, okay? And these can't touch. So you can first of all see that this one can't go up here because it would immediately touch a corner of this one. So you can draw a border here. That already shows you that the one to the left has to be here, and that's done because like it can't move up there, right? We only have one to the left. It has to move right here in order to get up. You need to move right, you can't do it here. You need to move right more. Still can't do it here because you're still touching the border. So this section at least has to move here. Could move up here, could also be here or here, we don't know. Yeah. So now let's look at this one. This one has to move down somewhere. Can't do that here. It has to basically move to the right somewhere. Yeah. But it's more important to look at the 6 here, because basically you have these tiles here, 6 tiles, but you can't use all of these tiles because you would need a separate region to separate it from this one. So there needs to be space for this one to go down 1, and this tile that wants to go down, yeah, if it's here, it will create this region around it that cannot be touched by the 6, right? So you can already see this cannot work because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need too many tiles here, yeah? So it shows you this extension to the bottom has to be somewhere here, because like I can only move it 1 to the right here, but I can move it all the way there, and here I can only move 1 to the right with this one, yeah? Can't have all this. So let's try something like this. Go up here, go over there. But this already doesn't work, right? Like that's the maximum extent I can have this to the left. Let's try how that works, right? If this one is here all the way to the left, then I can indeed go up here, and then I would have 5 left for this region, yeah? 5 here, up, but I could move 1 more up there, so this would actually work. You have this one section separating them exactly with 1 difference, right? And in fact, what's the bonus to it is that you have this one here to the left, which fits perfectly with this one, right? Now you only need 1 down here. And where can this be? If you put this here, then this one would have to extend here and go up here. And this would sort of work, right? No, you need to go down 1 more, right? You need 1 more down. So you can't do that here. Like we had to extend until here, so the only place in fact is here, because remember you need this thing all around it to separate it from this region. So then it makes sense finally, you can extend this up here, and that separates the whole thing and completes the puzzle. Talking, not making any sense. Yeah. Okay. Here we have basically the same thing. These 2 symbols mean that all of these L shapes have to be separated, and where you have connected L shapes, they must also be connected like this, right? So let's draw something around them already to see where we can do this. But let's start with this one. These have to be connected. You cannot finalize it like this because you're touching this L here. You also can't do this because there is no way for the L to get out without touching this symbol. So it has to be finalized either like that or like this. This one is not an option again, because you're touching the corner here at least. Like even if you did this, you would get 3 colors, right? You're only allowed 2. So this one has to be finalized like this, with the stuff moving all around it. So you can already see that here you need this here in order for this not to be broken, this clue sort of, right? So this has to be done like this, with this stuff moving all around it. Here you can only move here or here. You can't do it like that because you need to add a different color into this intersection of 4 tiles, right? But yeah, it's unclear if you can do this or if what you must do here. That's unclear yet. No, actually it is clear. It can't be this, because you would immediately get this, which is not allowed. Right? So you need to do this here and move all around it like this. Which means here you need to extend in there. If you finalize it like this, would you be able to complete this? No. You can't build this or draw this L here without touching this region like this and like the least. Actually, it would be possible like this. Oh no, then you're touching this one. No, it's not possible. It's not possible, like you can't do it. It has to be finished like this, with this stuff here, oops, going all around it. And then in order not to touch this, the only way to draw this L is like this. And then you need to extend all the rest here. And you have the final L there. Yeah. 6 and 4 and 4. 4. I think there was a 3 here somewhere. Yeah. Oh yeah, this one is also difficult for me. I actually don't know if I can explain why it has to be solved the way it has to be solved, because this is really difficult for me, I gotta say. We also need this here. We also need this here. The main thing being that you have a loopy puzzle here, which means you can't have the usual borders for this. You need 4. And then either these 2 regions must be the same, or these 2 regions must be the same, right? So let's see, I think you can show pretty easily that this is not possible. You would have borders here. You would need a border here. This one would have to move around here, and because we can't have loopy, it would have to combine with this region. And that leads to the problem that we have the same region here also. We only have 3 regions now in this intersection here, right? So we can't combine these 2. We need to make these 2 the same region, okay? No, wait, let's do it like this. Wait, yep, there. So we need to make this one and this one the same. So we need borders here. We need a border here, which means we also need a border there. And that in turn means that these have to be combined, right? If I'm not mistaken, yes. So now, oh wait, I didn't, wait. Why do I have this in there? Ah yeah, I didn't do so this one here and this one here. You need this border. You need a border here. And also there, which means that these have to be combined. Let's make them blue altogether. And now you need only 2 colors here. You can't have a T section, so you can't do this here, right? So the only way to deal with the rest is to make this one separate section, right? And now you have 4 regions here, but only 3 regions here. Okay. Well, I think actually that went pretty swimmingly, as Trump likes to say. Sorry, but I'm watching too much Trump news, unfortunately. Anyhow, okay, Bricky here. We need this border here because of the 0, which means we can't have a border here. We need to extend into this one. We also can't have a border here, so we need to go further south here. Now the 4 must go here, could also start here, but I can only go 2 here, and then I have to go on there. So we have 1, 2 at least here. Can't stop there because of the bricky situation. I need 1 more to the south and 1 more to the right. Yeah, actually I can't do this here because of this bricky situation. So, and I also can't extend the 2 there because of this corner here. So the 2 must be here. So I have 2 to the south, and then I can't end here with this one. And I can't go up because I already have the 1. I can draw this border there. This must be the final shape for this one here because of all these corners here. Yeah. Then I think it's not really possible to see anything with these 2 clues yet. It's better to look at this one, especially the 2 to the bottom. They can't be this and that because that's too many. I only have 4 to the east, right? So I need this one and that one. And that's 2 here. And I have 3 to the west. So I need 1 more to the west, but I have everything to the south. As regards the 3 here, I can go 1 to the right, which means I need to go at least 2 up north. Okay? But one of them could be here. No, it can't be because of this situation. So I would have to go 2 up north, but I can't end here. So I also can't go 1 up north because of this. Also, we would cut this one off. So could I do this? Also not because of this bricky situation. So the only way to deal with it is like this. And then we have 3 to the top and 1 to the right here, right? And this shape is complete except for the 4. But it can't be anywhere north of it, like because that part is all complete, right? It has to be here then, the final 4 to the east part. So that means here I can only have 1 to the right and 3 to the bottom like this. Here we have a bricky situation and here. So we need to move up there with a 2, which means the 3 has to be somewhere here at the bottom. So it has to go 1 to the south, and then because of this situation here, it has to go down there, right? Can't go here. Yes. That's it. So, what's next? We have another 3 here. Yeah, let's draw in the borders. Let's also look at this one. This can only be completed like this, right? And this one needs 2, can only be completed like this, and is all also done, right? We don't have anything left here. We can't combine these 2 clues, obviously, because 1 to the south and 2 to the south doesn't match. This here is not to the north, can't be combined with this clue here, must be like this. And then here we have 2 clues like that with the borders here, which means that they could be either completed like this, or you combine them to 1, but that can't be known now, I think. So let's look at this one. I think that's all of it here. Here you need 2 to the west. Can only be these 2 tiles, right? Because this one, these 2 cannot be combined because of the south clues, right? So like this, and we need 3 to the south, so that must be this. So first of all, it means we have a 5 here, and a 5 here, and a 2 there. Let me write that in, even though it's not really necessary. Let's put in 5 here and 5. Okay. And then here we have 3 to the south, must be this. 1 to the right we have already, but here we need 5. Yeah. If we don't extend this here, if there was a border, we would need 5 here. We couldn't create it with this. This can be 4 maximum, right? So we would cut this off. So indeed we need to extend this here, and this must be a 5, which in turn means this must be a 4 here. And now we can also write this in just as a reminder, like here and here. And we can start drawing the inside now. We need a border here and a border here, so the 5 has to move this way to make this a bit brighter. The 4 is here, and the 2 we don't know yet. Let's look at this one here. We have 2. Oh, wait, here we know that we have a 3 there. Totally forgot to write that in. Wait, no, here. 3, right? It means we also need a 3 here. Can do that first. So we need, like we can't do that here, because then we would need at least 4 or even 5 like that. It's the only way to complete this once we combine this. So there must be a border here, and we must have 3 like this. And this can then only be like this, right? 2 up and 1 to the right. Yeah, that's it. So then we need a border here as well. The 2 is completed like this. The 3 must be completed like this. The 5 goes here, which means the 4 needs to wrap around it. And then the 5 is completed like that. Okay. Oh no, wait, I can clear the whole thing actually. It's all completed. So that means I need a 4 here. And here. Yeah. And here we don't know, but we also need a 4 here. Yeah, okay. Oh, we can also draw a border there already. So the 4 here, it can't be separate from this compass symbol, right? Because we wouldn't be able to complete it anymore. So we need to move there. And we need to extend 1 to the left and we need 2 to the bottom. 2 to the bottom will complete the 4. So we can't move there anymore, which means we need to extend at the bottom here to the left. And that's exactly 4. And 2 to the bottom, 1 to the left. That's perfect. And the 4 here and the 4 there, that must be these 2, right? To the east of this compass we need 2. So the completion is this. We also have 2 to the south now, like that. So, here we can see now that, what can we see? Well, we need 4 to the north, right? That can only be 3 here, and then you can't do that, because you would have a 4 here, and you would need a 3 inside here. So you can only complete the 4 like this to the north, also completing the 1 to the east, like this, right? So now here, can we have a 2 here? Let's see, that would mean 2 here. But that would mean in this section here, I would need 1 and 2 for on only 2 tiles, right? Here I would need a 1, here I would need a 2. That doesn't work. I need to separate these 2. So I have a separated thing up there also. And then this can be 2, and this can be 1, right? Yes. So is there another 3, or was this 7 already? Or probably missed one somewhere. 15. No, that's it. All 7 difficulty 3 puzzles. And there are 7 difficulty 4 puzzles also. What was this one? That's a 4 already, okay. Oh yeah, this one is much more difficult than a 4, I think. But I'll try my best to explain. Here, we will start here. We need at least 1 here, which means we need at least 2 here, at least 3 here, at least 4 here, at least 5 here. That is the chain, right? So we can draw this border already, or we can also add the frame, right? Like this and like that. And this one extends here. This one is not unclear, but we can see now that this actually has to be, let's make it like a different color. If we were to go here, we would have to combine this shape with this one in order to prevent a loopy thing. But I can't have the same number being bigger and smaller than another number at the same time. So that doesn't work. The other way around is obviously the same thing, so it has to be combined like this, like a true frame sort of, right? So now we know this was 1 at least, 2 at least, 3 at least. The 3 then has to be here and the 2 has to move there. Let's draw on all these borders already. Makes it a bit better visible. This will have to be a 4 at least. So we can do that. And then we can look at this here. Like we can't finish it here, right? Because we would automatically create a T-intersection either like this or like that, which we couldn't do anyway now. So we need to at least extend this to the same length as this one here. Yeah. Also here we have the potential of a rule in compliance with the rules, whatever, we need to either extend this one or extend this one. So if we extend this one, we would create a 2 here. This would have to become 3, and there we automatically have a problem, either like that or like that here. Yeah. So that's not possible. I can't extend this. There has to be a border here, and this one has to wrap around it. Okay. But now we can also see that we can't expand those two, right? Because of the 0 here, there must be a 0 difference between the two. That doesn't work, so I need these borders here. Okay. And that in turn means that this one has to spin around here, and this one then has to be, we have 4 by now, this has to be at least a 5 here. Okay, which means I also need at least 5 down here, by the way. Okay. So now, let's see, would it be possible for this one to wrap all the way around here? Because technically that's possible, right? We would need the border here, and then you could drag this up and try to build the 5 here. But that's exactly the problem, but actually you can find it out in a different way. Like this, you already have a region of, what is it, 7, which means here you would need 8, you would need another 8 here, and you would need a 9 there. That's 16 plus 9, that's 25, and you have 14 plus 4, so 18 tiles only, so that doesn't work. You can't do that. And once you move here, oops, sorry, once you move down here, you will have to automatically go all the way. There is no way you can do anything else, so you need the border there, and you have to extend the, I call this the water, and always think of this as islands. You have to extend this until here at least. And here, since you can't wrap around and you also can't extend this one, this shape here, right? You need this border. You also can't make this bigger than 3, right? Because you have a 4 here now. Then you need a different region here, right? So, next step, what was it? Yeah, the thing to ask now or what I like to ask, I don't know if there are easier ways to make these deductions, because I have extreme problems with the loopy mechanic, I gotta say. But is it possible that this is a different region from this one? The copy 5 sort of here, right? The only way to copy it is either like this or like that. But in both instances you will end up with a T problem. Like you would have to extend this to 5, right? And there's no way to deal with this shape here. You can drag this in, you can also put this here, but you always end up with 3 regions meeting in one intersection, right? Also, if you do this here, it's basically the same. You would have to extend this to a 5. And again, you have the problem here. Yeah. Or you could add in another region, but you always have 3 regions meeting in one of those intersections. Okay. So, this is not an option, the border there. That's the main point of this. This one has to move around here. And then you can't complete it like this, because again, you would create the problem of a T intersection either here or here, right? So you can only complete it like that. That's 5, yeah? And there's nothing else. You also can't add the 6 to it, meaning like this could be 6 and this could be 7, but it's not possible to add anything else. The maximum and the minimum of this region is 5. Meaning here, you need to add 2 more, right? Or first of all, you need to put this one in here. And now you can't move this there or this there without a T intersection. So here you need to put a border then, right? So you need a new region here. But then you need to expand this one also. Can't go there again because of the T. So there, yeah, you have your 5. And now it becomes apparent that you don't need a 6 here. You indeed need a 9 here. This can only be this region, again, spinning around or wrapping the whole shape, right? That's always the rule. You need to wrap the shapes in loopy difficulty or loopy mechanics. It's the same like 2s here or 4s. You can only have 2s or 4s here, right? In every section you always have 2 borders meeting or 4 borders, right? And that's why everything is wrapped, entirely wrapped. Okay. So what's next? This is a 5. Some of these puzzles are so well hidden. I think there was one here that is barely findable right there. You can see it a little bit better from here. Yeah, there is the 4. Okay, loopy. 2 regions. Remember, rose windows in a loopy situation, and 2 regions mean automatically also bricky. Yeah? So you can't have 4 borders meeting. You have 2 regions, and they must be separated by a line of 1, or they always are only 1 line thick, these regions, sort of, right? So let's see what we can put in here. We can put these in here for the green region already. Now, it's not 100% sure, but it's a, I would say 95% safe bet that the green region is substantially smaller than the, but I call it red region, okay? Even though it's a bit dark red, but you have a green region and a red region, and given that the red region already has 36, whereas the green has only 4, and they sort of have to be the same inside, the green region is the smaller region, which means on the bigger than side you will always need the raw red region, and on the smaller one you need the green region, okay? It also means here already that here you need the red region, and this has to be the green region. The green region then has to move here. This one can only be green, right? Because otherwise you would have 4 reds, and it has to move towards green somewhere to connect to the rest of the group. So it has to move at least here. Let's see, here we need bigger than on the right side of the border, and oops, we need smaller on the left side of the border. Here we also have bigger than here and smaller than here, which means here for this corner I need green, and here because I can't have a bricky situation also, I can already move around this corner. Here I need also green, otherwise we would have 4 tiles connected with red, and then these have to be connected as well. Here I need red now, like this. Here I need red for this one. What else? What else? Ah, yeah, we need green here on the north side of this border, right? Because smaller then. And I also need red here. I need green here, and I need red here. Actually, the game in many cases draws this the right way or already. So green has to move here. What else? Here I need green now. And green can only move out of the section here on the left side. Right, so I can't go there, right? I need to go here, and this has to be red, which means because of the border, this one has to be green. What else do we have? Oh, yeah, we have green here also, and violet there, or red. And yeah, I think you could see something here now. That's not it. What is it? Ah, here I need violet. And if I need violet here, it has to come from here. I can't have violet here and green here, right? Because of non-bricky. I can't have the 4 borders meeting. I don't know if I'm supposed to explain again, like I did it in the videos where this whole mechanic, the rose windows is explained, or that you can't have that, because if you have green here, red here, and red here, you will automatically create a 3rd region. But, well, I'm not going to explain this now. You have to wrap around this. If on opposite corners of you need the same color, they have to be combined. Okay? What else do we have? There was something here also, but I don't remember what it was. Bigger, smaller. This could be red, and green could come from here. Ah yeah, here I need green now on this side. Which means here I need red, which means here I need green. That must be this one. Okay. But this is Glimmith from here and from there. I think there was something here. Yes, I can't make this green, for instance. Right? Because I would need red here, and then I would need green here in this one in order not to make these 4 red, right? But I can't do that because then I'm creating exactly the problem. On this side of the border I need red now, and that can only come from here, and you create a separate region. That's exactly what I'm talking about with the corners that are meeting opposite sides. They always have to be connected if they are on opposite sides, right? So that's not an option. You can't go green here. You need red here, and that has to wrap around the corner then. Which means on this side you have red. So these must be connected, but they could be connected like this or like that. What else? I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry. There must be something here. This is a rather simple puzzle 404. I'd say I like the mechanic itself. That's the opposite of loopy for me. It's very intuitive and you can see it very well actually what you need to do. But you simply need to look at the right place. Yeah, I can't have red here now because then I would need green there in order to prevent like one color only around this intersection, but I would create the same situation. So this has to be green and this has to be red then. And what else? Now this can't be red because here I have to wrap around the corner to red and I create this now, which is not possible. So this has to be green, which means here I need red. That has to wrap around the corner then, which means green must go here for this one also. Could have seen that before. What else? There was something like here. Why don't... Is this connected on... I don't remember this. I need green here. And that cannot be here. I can't connect it like that. Because then I would have to wrap... Like I would need red here. And I would create this here. Which is the same, right? So green can only go like this here. Which means I need red here. And I have two reds here, so they have to be connected. So this green has to be connected from the left side. These two reds must be connected. And now this big chunk here can only connect to the rest through this tunnel here. And then it needs to go on here and here. Oops, not this way, no, here, like this. And I made a mistake. Where did I make a mistake? Bigger, 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 bigger. What did I overlook? Oh, I drew a border. When did I draw this border there? Oops, wait. Like this. How did this border end up there? I don't know. But at least everything is correct. So, let's move on to the, what is it, the third difficulty 4 puzzle, which is here. Ah yeah. So first of all, this one would only be able to take this red symbol like this, right? But that's not an option because we're only allowed 2 regions and we would have a third region here without a symbol. That means in turn that this compass has to be connected to this red symbol. And it can only be along the edge in order not to create a third region, right? So we need the same thing on the other side. Now, given this symbol, let's make this a different color, yeah, yellow. Given this symbol here, we need yellow here also, right? Now, come on, yellow, where is it? Okay, like this. So we need 2 more. Can either be like this, or like this. Maybe like this, yeah, or like this. That's basic option. But actually it can't be like this, because like this you would create this region of red here already on the left side of this line. So it's not possible. This has to be red. It needs to connect it, and you have either this or that. Okay, let's leave that open. So we have 2 reds here. Yeah? And I need to prevent this one from becoming all yellow, right? Let me just switch off the phone quickly here. Come on, switch off. Just a second. Forgot to switch that off before. So yeah, we need to prevent this one from becoming all yellow. So we need 1 red at least in here and 1 there. Yeah? And if I put this here, the red one, If I extend here, then we would hear this here. So the only two options for the red one are here and, come on, proper red here. Yeah. So yellow has to be here, and yeah, here we don't know, but we need to connect this one to another yellow, right? And we can't do it like this because we would cut this off, so it must be connected like that. And then we have red here and red here. This one I checked already, right? Yes. And this one is a... I need to check now because I also have... This one was what I just solved. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, here, the 3 here is the main thing to look at. If you did this, you would automatically have 3 different regions in one intersection, which is not allowed. If you do this for the 3, you could do this with the 2, but the main problem is being that you need another region here, right? And this would have to come either from here or from here. It doesn't matter. You could switch them sort of here with this one where there is nothing. You could do it like this, but you will never be able to get there or the third tile that you need to the left of it, right? So you're cutting it off. So there's also not an option to do the 3 like this. The 3 can in fact only be started like this. And then you need the 2 around here and the 1 is there. The remaining 2 tiles for the 3 must be here. Now that means that I need to switch from the 2 as a neighbor to the 1 as a neighbor, right? And that can only be done here. So the 2 must be moved here, the 1 must be moved here, and then the 3 can switch from the 2 to the 1, right? Move all the way around here and complete the 3 to the west like this. And then you need to only fill in the remaining regions for the 2 regions that you need, right? And that's how this puzzle is solved. Is this a 4? Yes. Okay, we have Bricky and Precision 3. Now, first this border here, pretty obvious. Another border here. You can already see if you draw this border here, you end up with 17. That means you need a border like this here for an 18. Then you have a border here with 2 sticking out, and here I don't really see so much. You can see that you can't have a border here pretty easily because you would need that, because at the bottom you also need 3 and you would come up with a bricky situation. So that's not an option, you have to do this. But going on from here, the only thing I could find to make sense of sort of is you can't do that because then you would need 2 of the same colors here, right? So that must be a 3 like this because of the bricky situation. Otherwise, if you go like this, you create a problem here like this, and then you need to extend this here, a 3 like this, and then this one can only be completed like this, again creating a bricky. I don't know, there is probably an easier way to see this, to figure this out, but I don't see it. And I don't like this puzzle so much. I don't like this watchtower thing so much. In this version, like with the row symbols together, very nice. But like this, I don't like it. So the 3 must be completed like this. Then we have another 3 like this here. Then we need to move here. Can't end here, can't go there because of the 4 borders meeting. Must do it like this. Then we need the same color here. We need 2 here. How can we complete this? Like this. We can also complete it like this, basically. No, we can't complete it like this because, again, we would have the same problem here. So this one has to be done like this, like that, and like that. So we are fine with bricky. Then we need to move out of here. And it's like I can't extend it there because of this here, right? I also can't extend it there, right? Yeah, because then I would need 3 here for this symbol, and I would end up with a region of 4 inside. So this one has to go there. We need to extend out 2 here. The 3 that I need in here can only be completed like that with another 3 like this. And this one moves there. This one could move here. Then we would have 3 No, doesn't work with this symbol, right? We would have 3 regions meeting there. We are only allowed 2, so this one has to extend here. We need 2 combined here, right? And we can't end this here, so it has to move over this intersection there, which means we have another 3 here. Now we have 2 intersections to deal with like this, to prevent a bricky problem, and then we can only do this and that. Okay, next 4. Okay, we have bricky, so let's draw in everything that we need to draw in. Here and here and here. Okay, yes. So this puzzle looks much more difficult than it is actually, and it's if you realize that this thing here can't stop here. You can't have these borders here, right? Because this would be bricky. That means it's at least 3 like this or like this, which in turn means I need a 4 here, and the only way to draw a 4 on this side is like that. Well, actually that's not true. No, I could do it like this also, but then you would have what problem? You would have to create something bigger than 4 here, like this, and you can't have the same 2 regions being bigger and smaller than each other at the same time, right? So that's why you can't combine this. It doesn't matter how much you extend it, it doesn't work. Because you can't have 2 in here, that's the main problem, right? You have to take this from here, and then you walk into a contradiction. Okay, so let's just undo this. The 4 must be completed like this. So this is a 3 like this, at least a 3. Which means here you must be bigger. Yeah, then that works. What was the next step here? I don't even remember. I think it was here, right? Something here? Here you have a chain. This needs to be at least 3. This needs to be at least 4. Oh wait, I need to extend this here because of that situation. 4, 3. And there has to be a border. This has to be bigger than 3 then. So that must be like this. This is a 3. And this has to be a 4 at least. And we have this situation here. Yeah. So this has to move here. This could be 4 or 5 or 6 even. But here we need at least 5 now. In this one, because you have 4 here. At least 4, which means here at least 5. Which in turn means here we need at least 6. In this thing here, yeah? And now you can already see that you can only complete the 5 and the 6 like this. 5 and 6, because of the borders here, can't be any bigger. This has to be how this is placed. Which means here you need a 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the maximum amount that you can actually draw in this area, so it has to be done like this. And then here you need what? We have a 7, we need an 8 here, and that's exactly what we have. Huh? Okay, where to start here? Oh yeah, that's a loopy puzzle, also bricky, meaning none of the regions can touch each other except one region that separates all the other regions from each other, okay? So the one region separating everything is the one that surrounds the whole grid, like this. And I think the easiest way to solve this puzzle is by looking at this clue here, the one to the left. Now, if you were to make this part of the 7, actually you can't. You can't combine these two. But the general rule is that once you have compass clues touching in a loopy, bricky puzzle, they need to be combined. But that's not possible here. You can't do... You could do like this, okay? That's the only way this can be done. But then you can't move left of this anymore. And you would have to create 7 somewhere here. Could incorporate the 2. But then you end up with the problem of the 1. The 1 cannot be extended here because it touches the 5 and can't be combined. Also not like this, but then it touches this one automatically. So how to solve this problem? Yeah? If you combine these two clues, you can't complete this clue anymore. That means you cannot combine these two. It's the only solution. Like, as unlikely as it seems, that's the way to solve this. You need 2 here, and then the 7 has to indeed wrap the 1. Yeah? No other way. And here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the north of this symbol. You have to add 1 for this one somewhere. Can't be here and can't be here because of the 5. But apart from that, this shape is basically complete. Only these two stay open, right? To add this tile eventually. Oh no, wait. I forgot the 2 here. They can only be down here. They can't be here because we only have 1 more above this line, right? So this one is also like this. Has to be done like this. Which means we can already draw this here also. Like that, okay? So now we can look at the 5 and the 3. Here we, like, these obviously must be combined somehow, because otherwise the 5 touches the 4 and the 4 would touch the 3 and stuff, right? So if we need 3 left to this, it can only be these 3. And then we have 4 left of this one. So we can add this. And if we add this one, we also have 3 to the south, right? 3, 4, 4, 3. That fits like this, right? And what else? Now the 6 here. Let's look at the 1 first. That can only be done like this. Can't be done here because it would touch this corner there. So we can draw the border around here already. Then we need 2 to the top here, so that's 2 more. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already. And plus this one, that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be all the 6. That's why we can't combine it like this here. We have to do it like this because above this line we already have 6 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 somewhere, right? So the 4 is here and the 5, 6. Did I make a mistake somewhere? Oh yeah, I made a mistake here. I didn't count the 5 properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That has to go there. And that means the 2 can only be extended here. Sorry for that mistake. Thank God I know the solutions to these puzzles. So we have this thing spinning around it, which means the 1 can only be here. And like that the puzzle is complete. Okay, what's next? There was one no, there was this one that was very well hidden. Okay. How many do I have? 22. Yeah, that's all of them. Okay, there's one difficulty 5 on a white plinth. I think it's this one, yes. You see the time? Okay. We can start off by drawing in these here. This one can't be bigger, and we have a minimum 3. Can't be bigger than 3, so this is a definitive 3. We can also draw in this one, because there must be 3 at least, right? So let's write in, here we need at least 4. Also here then, which means this must be 5. Okay, if I put in 5, that's the maximum I can have. Yeah, so this indeed must be 4. And that means that here I will definitely need something 6 or bigger. Yeah, let's put in bigger than, no, bigger equal. Let's put it like this. Whatever. Okay, I looked at this puzzle for a very long time to find an easy way to explain why this has to be solved the way it has to be solved. And the best thing I could come up with is that, first of all, if you look at these 2 4s here, right? If you move this one up, you immediately get a bigger than, which means that you would have a border here because the 4 could not move there, so this 4 would go down there, and then because of this bigger than, you couldn't have this 4 bigger than, you need a border there, right? So you can only have this like this. The borders must be like this or like that here, yeah? Regardless, if you go up here, even though that's not so important, you have the border here, right? And that means because of these 2 symbols, like you would have to go up here because of the border there, because of these 2 symbols you need a border here, yeah? And going down here, You would need a border here because of these two symbols that are different, right? You can't have the same and be bigger. Okay? And the same is true if you solve this the other way around. If you go down here, like this, and you move up here with a border there, you couldn't extend the 4 into this one, because you would have the same. You would have a 3 here at least, and you can't have the same here, so the 4 would have to move there. So you need these borders in any event, okay? Let's just leave them in. But what is more important that if you have a border here, it doesn't work. You can see that if you create the 4 here, then you would need a 3 here, minimum 3 also, right? And then here you would need a 4, which would create a situation of 5 here. And you can't put 3 in, you can't put 2 times 3, you need at least 3 for a region, so you can't complete this without creating a region of 2 or going with the 3 into the 6. Yeah. So because you need 6 here, you can't do this with the 4. Okay? The 4 here has to move down there and into this direction. And this one has to move up here into that direction. Okay? So now we know that we can only have a 3 here. This one also has to be a 3 then. This one is at least 3, but we are not allowed 2, so that has to be 5. Here we need something bigger, something smaller than 5, but here we need a 5 exactly. So let's start here. 1, 2, 3. We can't start with the 5 here because of the contradiction. We need to complete the 5 with this region. And then we have a 4 here, which is smaller than 5. Okay? Here we can only do a region that is the 6, right? Because we need 3 at least. So 6 like that, which means this also has to be 6. And then the remaining section is also 6. I hope that made sense with the borders, and especially, like, I didn't find anything about this, anything other than, like, that's easy to demonstrate that the 4 cannot go up because it creates this contradiction here in this corner. I don't know if there is anything, probably. I'm just not intelligent enough for these puzzles, I would say. Also, there was only one 5, right? Yeah, that's 23. So there's 2 difficulty 6 puzzles on white plinths. Wait, they were both here, right? Well, one is here at least. Ah yeah, the rose windows. So here we can draw these borders. And for reasons that I don't want to explain again, we have to move along the edge to complete the first symbols, to connect the symbols at least. Like, because of the symbols, we need to move along the edge. Like this. So, to begin with, we can look at this corner here. That must be fixed like this, or fixed like we have to add another color that can only come from here because of these 2 symbols. I can't add a 3rd region here. Also, where is it here? This one? No, wait. I can't have blue here. Ah, here. Here I need blue, right? I can only wrap this one around there. So what is easy to see was the following. Wait, what was it? I need a different color here, right? And that has to come from here. Now, because of the border here, I can't have a 3rd color there. I need to add the blue there because of this symbol. That in turn means I can't move blue there. This has to be red, regardless of which color we have here, by the way. So blue can only move here, and then we have this border again. That means, because we can't add any colors, we need this color on the one side of the border and the other color on the other side of the border. And now we need something here that, because of all these 2 2s, can only be blue also. I can't have another color here to enter this, right? And this has to be one and the same color because of these 2 symbols. Yeah. Now here I need red. And now you can also see that you can't move there because you're creating a situation where you will automatically have 3 colors, either like that in this intersection here, or like that in this intersection. Or if you do this, you will create it here or here. There's no way around it once you add this tile with blue. So this has to be a border and this must be red then. which means in turn here you need green. And then here you need red, because you have red on that side already. So it has to move around here. Here you need anyway a different color, so that must be red. And here is blue then, or this greenish blue, turquoise, or whatever you call that. So on this side of this border you can only have red, because you already have only these two colors around this corner. So this has to move around here, and then also into this section. Okay. Here you have a border with this, so this also has to be red, right? Yes. Now, what color do you put in here? This cannot be red now, because here you need blue because of this one. Wait, no, you need something else here. Yeah, that's the problem. And you can't do that like this, because then what would happen? Why can't you do it like that? Ah, yeah, here. Whoops, sorry. In this intersection you would get three colors. Yeah. So that's not possible. You can't move blue in here. You have to use this color. And that's why you don't have the symbol here, because that's where three regions meet, right? And then you just extend that there and you finish the puzzle. So the other 6 was also somewhere around here. I remember that, wasn't it? This was a 4? Maybe it was only brown plinth 6s. Where is the second 6? There is a second 6 somewhere. I have 24 now, right? Yes. Let's zoom out a bit. Oof. And the searching commences. This is all brown. Huh. There's nothing here, right? And I've played through these puzzles. Ah, there it was. Yeah, it was right next to it. I remembered correctly. That is white, right? Yes. Oh yeah, this one. It's difficult to explain, I gotta say, but I mean, I talked about these symbols with 2 dots, that you can only have 2 borders or meeting in these, right? So I think the easiest starting point for this puzzle is the 2 and the 10. Like the 2 has to extend either like this, like that, or like that. And since you can only have one, like you already have the different color here, the 10 has to move around it, right? Otherwise you create an untenuous situation. Like if you do this here, you would have another region there, and 3 regions meeting here and there. So there is no other option than that. And it also has to be positioned like that. Like if you did this, the 10 would touch the 7 here, and the 7 can't go all around the 10 again, right? Which these symbols would demand, sort of, right? And if you do the 2 into this direction, the 10 touches this 7. So that's why the 2 has to be positioned like that, and the 10 goes all around it. That's 10. It's complete. It's a done deal. So you have one region spinning all around that. To separate it, that's the entire region that will fill the that will serve as a grid, sort of, where the other shapes are imparted in. And this cannot be bigger than 1 wide, right? You can extend, sort of, but you can never have anything like that, okay? That's how to visualize this puzzle, at least, okay? So let's look at the 5 here. The way you can complete the 5 is like this, or like that. You can't do anything like this because of this right here. And if you want to spin the 7 around it, you also can't do anything like that. You need to use the border. You can't do this here, for instance, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, actually that would work. So let's look at the 3 here to show that it doesn't work. Because the 3 is either this. Let's take this away here again. The 3 is either like that. Let's show first that this one doesn't work, because there you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then you have this tile where you have 3 regions meeting here, right? So that can't work. You need to complete the 3 with 2 tiles along the border, along the edge of the grid, and you can complete the 8 like that, and it's tightly sealed like this, right? The 3. But you can already see that you can't complete the 8 now. Even if you do the 5 like this, they will touch here. Yeah. So you have to move the whole thing. The 3 has to be here, and the 8 has to be there. There's no other way to do that. And then we can look at the 5 and the 7. You see now that we need this here to extend around this, like that. This is what we definitely need. And then you can already see that you need to prevent this here from becoming 4 tiles. Yeah, you need to add another region in there. And remember, like here we had 6 like this, right? This is 6. So we can only add the 7 in like this, and then the 5 must be completed like that with another red one inside there. Okay? So here we need to prevent something, right? Meaning there can be green here, but then we would have to prevent this here again. So let's not look at this one first. Like this one is obvious, and the 7 also. Oh yeah, no, actually we can do that already. This has to be done like this, yeah, because once you draw in these regions, and then you would also have to prevent stuff here. But let's look at the 8 first, okay? The most obvious thing to do is something like this, right? You have now 7 here, and you can extend one more. And where to put this, you can figure out better if you also fill in the 5. Because for the 5, there's also one basic way to do that, and I think it's the only way, in fact. You need to draw it like this, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with also here the possibility to extend this by 1. And as far as I can see, there is no way to change the position of the 5 without making it impossible for the 9 to spin all around it. Like for instance, if you add 1 here, you already have 8 like this, and you end up with 9. You can't go around this corner. So I think you need to use this wall to be able to cope with the entire 5, right? So let's use this as a working assumption. Let's draw this around here. And then you can already see that the 7 would best be extended here, right? With 2, we have 2, that's 7 now. And then we can just fill the rest. And then we can see where the problems are and deal with them, okay? This one would also be red there. So you see there is a big section. There's 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles here, 4 clues that are not completed. And there's 2 clues here that are not completed, yeah? Now you could think about just putting one of those extensions here, and you can put one of the extensions of the 9 and the 8 here. That doesn't help with this one. There's too many things that don't work really to deal with them with these 2 tiles. And the thing to realize, which I struggled with the longest time, is that you can simply add other tiles, right? It doesn't say anywhere that you can't do this here. Wait, this here, right? No, let's go back to the original color. This here, yeah? As you did here also. Here you also put in another tile, or whatever. I put this, but I didn't realize this for the longest time, that I can do this. And given that you have this distance, like even if you extend here by 1, you would still have a problem. So that is a very good indicator that this one must be the right thing to do. Yeah. Now, if you look at the rest here, like you still have too many issues, sort of. Like you have 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles, and you can only deal with 2 at the same time, right? You could do 9 here and 8 there, but then you're left with these 2. If you do 9 here and 8 there, you at least you're left with this one. If you do 9 here and 8 there, you're left with this one. So there is no way to deal this, and you simply have to do exactly the same thing as here. You need to add another tile. Then you're left with only 2 problems here, and you can deal with this with the 8, but there's no way to extend the 9 anymore. And what to do? In fact, you cannot do it with the 8, you have to do it with the 9, because the 9 cannot be extended, but the 8 can be extended. And there is a very easy way. That's the second time where you need out-of-the-box thinking, sort of. You simply have to move the 5 1 in, And then you can do this. You don't have to extend it outside, you have to extend it inside. That's really difficult to find, I would say. And I think this is one of the hardest puzzles so far in this game to complete without any help, at least. But it is a 6 for a good reason. So now we have 25, that's all the white puzzles. Let me just drink something for a moment. Oh no, this happened again. Wait a second, I fucked it up again here. But I'll do this, like, I don't know, I have this that I can mute my mic, but it just switches the resolution, and I'm going to a windowed all of a sudden. I'm going to switch that all back now. I hope the resolution will also go back. Yeah, you see now I'm at 14. I saw that it doesn't interfere with the video too much, but I don't know why that happens. Like, I wanted to switch my microphone off, but it changed the resolution and fucked it up. I don't know why. I'm not going to try that again, so I'll just drink in a moment with the mic on. You'll have to endure this, unfortunately. So I think that's it, yeah? Yes. So let's resume here. Just a second. I wonder if you can see the FPS thing in the top left corner now or not. I don't even know. Just a second. Okay, let's move on. We have, what do we have? We have one difficulty 3 puzzle on a brown plinth. Let's see if I can find that. There's nothing on this little island here, right? No. I think that's that already, right? No, it's not. I think, wasn't it this one? That's the one, yeah. I did 25, right? I got a bit lost now. Yeah. Okay, we have loopy. So let's draw in all these things here. So I think the best way to start this is by looking at there's something switching here on the microphone, I think. Should be better now. Looking at the 4 here, you have just check something for a moment. If the recording is still going okay. Yes, okay. You have the 4 at the south here, and you can't do that with these 3 tiles, so you have to include this one, and that means that you have to add this like this. You can draw these borders here. Let's make this a bit brighter that you can see them better, which means here you also need the borders, right? And then you need 5 to the top, 3 to the side. The 3 to the left here can't be done like this because you will end up with a situation that is not good for the loopy, right? The same is true for the 2 on the right side here. You will automatically create a T intersection. So you need this, and you need to deal with the 3 and the 2 on top with the 5 here, yeah? So we need 5 altogether and 2 on the right side. Oh no, we already have one here, sorry. Yeah, we have one here. So we need 2 more on the left side now and 1 only on the right side. So that's pretty obvious. If you need only 2 on the left side, you need to extend 1 more. Now we have 2 above, 1 to the right, and 2 to the left are these here, right? Can only be like this. You can lock this in, and then you can see that this border goes all the way there. This one goes around here. You need another border there, and you need a border here also, okay? So you can see the 1 has to move down here. To the left we have this one, and now you can realize that these 2 have to be joined, these 2 groups. There's no way around it, basically. Like you have 4 to the left, that must be this one here. And since we can't join these 2 groups anymore, the 4 to the left must be 1 more, and then going in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? At the bottom for the 5 we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we only need 1 to the top and 2 to the right. They must be joined because I don't have space for 2 to the right. I would have to go down here Actually, that would be possible, but then if I did this, I would have T problem there, unless I went there, but then I would have to do this. Actually, would this work? Let me see. Would this work if I combine all of them? Because I just thought of this thing here, having these combined and these. Ah, no, the 6 and the 5 are the problem, aren't they? No, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, I can't go down here because of this 5. That's the problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's it. So I need to do it like this. And then these two have to be combined. And this all has to be combined, right? Yes. Okay, we are... Yeah, that's one difficulty 3 puzzle only, right? And that's 26. So we have 2 difficulty 4 puzzles on brown plinths only. Only 2. As I said, some of them are very well hidden. That is a 6. There is a 4, yeah. On brown plinth. Okay, we have loopy, so we can draw this stuff already. Meaning that this one is the other color. Let's look at the 5 first of all. 5 tiles to the right can only be this color, like this, right? Meaning, oh, so we also need the different colors here. Meaning for the 9 here, there's the following. We need to count these tiles as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We already have 9 to the north of it, which means we can't combine it like this. And that leaves only one way to add it from here, because this one also has to be connected to this one. Obviously, there's more than 3 of that color here, yeah? Which in turn means that, sorry, this yellow one cannot be connected like this. It must be connected like this here. This has to be green also. Then we need 4 to the bottom here, 3 to this side. Cannot be like this, 1, 2, 3, because we would create this bricky situation again. That's not allowed in these kinds of puzzles where you only have 2 regions, right? Because you would need green here and there. Okay. So you need to extend this one. You need green in here and yellow must go here. We need 4 yellow altogether. Here we need green. Could we put yellow here? No, we can't. You can't do this here. If we were to put yellow here, we wouldn't be able to connect this anymore. Only like this with a 5. Yeah, you couldn't connect it like this. Wouldn't be possible. Because that wouldn't be part of the region, right? So that has to be done like this, with green here and green here also. That was one difficulty 4, right? We are at 4. Man, I'm so losing track when I'm focusing on these puzzles. I'm forgetting about everything else. There is another 4. Again with the loopy. This puzzle I really liked also. I like these kinds of puzzles I liked so much. They're so good. And good to read, I gotta say. So, oops, no. Let's leave it like this. Like this also. Then we have here the different color, right? And that immediately has to move into these sections here because of this. This entire thing has to be a different color. Here we need the different color. Here we need a different color. Here we need a different color. Here as well. And also here. Now you can already see that there is something. If I connect it like this, I would create either this here or this here. But it doesn't work. I need this here connected like that with another blue one there. More importantly, I think, and that is what solves the whole puzzle actually, is if you do, what was it? I think this is not possible, right? Yeah, because if you do this here for this sign, you need red in here, but then you need blue in here, and that can only be connected like this, which means you have this one cut off. And if once you realize this has to be here, basically the whole puzzle is solved. Now, you can't have blue in here because then you would need red like this again, creating something that is not allowed. This has to be connected like this. And now you know here, this must be blue like this. Now you need, let's call this, I don't know, orange here or red or whatever. Here you also need orange, and this is part of the same region. And now you can actually see that you always have to combine it like this. You're going all the way around. It's always the same deduction. Wait, what did I do here? Oh wait, why didn't I, when did I delete this? I don't know what I did there. This one has to go here, right? And then this one connects through this one. Did I not draw this or did I delete it? I don't know what happened to that tile there. But yeah, once you figure out here, the whole thing solves itself, right? Okay, we've got 28. So 5 difficulty 5s we have left. One of them was very difficult to find. But I remember where it is, so shouldn't be a problem this time. This one was a 6, right? Yes. Let's move around here in the usual circle fashion. That one is also a 6. This one is a 5. Yes. Okay, we have a loopy puzzle again. So let's fill in these parts. Like this. And then we can realize already that here, this must be bigger than that. So it cannot be 1. It must be 2, at least. Which means that one of these tiles, these regions has to extend in here. Which in turn means because of the loopy mechanic, we need this. Okay? And then this can't extend there any further, which in turn means we need here a 2, right? What else? Here we need a border also. So this is 2, this is 5, or at least 2. It actually can't go on here because then we would have the same color being, the same number being smaller and larger than another number. So we can also put in this border, which means we need this here. Here we need bigger than 5, so we need to extend out of this. Here we also need something bigger than 3 at least. So we need to extend out of this. We need 6 at least, so we need to move around here. Let's draw in these borders. And then, I don't know if I have to show this, but it's... Wait, this needs to be bigger than 3 at least, so this needs to extend 1 more. And here this also needs to extend now, right? Yes. This one could potentially speaking go here, right? Is there anything speaking against that? If I extend this here and this here? No, that's actually the thing, yeah. Like this doesn't work because you would have to, you have 5 here already, 5 and 5. This would have to be 6 at least, which means you're creating again a number that is smaller and bigger than another number at the same time. So that doesn't work. You can't move to the right here. You have to move up. And that means here you need to move up 2 because minimum 3, minimum 2, minimum 3, this has to be minimum 4. Okay? And what else was it? Yes, you cannot combine these 2 regions here because this is definitely bigger than this number, and this is already, how much is this? 9. That is not possible to extend this without creating a loopy situation. I don't have to show you, but the basic gist is that you would have to move here. You could combine basically with this, but there is so many issues. It's too much now. Let's just take it as this. You have to extend this here to separate the 2, right? And you have a 6 then. That's what you need right here, 5. And here you need something bigger than the 6 even. You need a 7 or something. That's also the problem. Wasn't it the problem? What was I just talking about with this being here? Oh, Ah yeah, if this one is bigger, you would need, yeah, that's actually the thing. If you make this bigger, then if you combine these sections here, that's actually the clue. If you would have combined this one and this 9, this would have had to be, what was it, 10 or 9 or whatever. But then you would also have to make this bigger than this region, which you wouldn't be able to do anymore, right? That's the easier deduction. So here you need at least 7 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would fit very well, but you could also do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that doesn't work. That can never work. If you don't use this region down here, you have 4, 5, 6. You would have to add this one. That's 8 already. But then also here you need to prevent the T intersection. So that doesn't work. You're bigger and smaller again at the same time, right? And that means you need to use this one here. Like this, you have 7, and that's bigger, and there you create all the problems for moving in here. Once you move over this edge here, you have to do this and that's a problem. So this is complete. You have 7, 6, 5, and here you have 4, 2, 2. So this has to be one bigger at least. Let's first of all ask ourselves if this one can be bigger. It would immediately have to add this one, but you couldn't make this one bigger anymore than this one, because you would have to move in here, and then you would need something bigger here than there. Like first of all you would have to add this. That's 5, and this is 5. This is not even enough. Then you have to move there. But in any event, you can't get anything that's bigger here except this with the T here. That doesn't work because it's also smaller. So that's not an option. This extension here is not an option. This must be 2, which means in turn I need a border there. And then where to extend this one? Let's draw in this border also. Also let's draw in these borders that I forgot here. These, okay, yeah. Is it possible to do what? What actually? I don't know. This one here? You would need something bigger here. First of all, we need to take care of this. Like here, I need to move there because of this one, right? Yeah, that's actually what I overlooked. And then the question is if we move here like this, which I know not allowed because of this one here, which means this one must be filled like this. I can't have a single new cell in there because of the T. Also, that would never be bigger. So it must be like this, right? So we have a 4 here. And we have here another line. And this one has to move in here because otherwise we would create a T. And this is a 4. This cannot be bigger than a 3. We need these here also now. So we have 4 here. This one has to extend one more. So this has to be 5. 6, 5, that fits. 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay. And this one is done also, right, with 5. So now we need to create something bigger than 3 here. Okay. And since we have one border sticking out here, one border sticking out here with a perfect corner for it, we can simply do this, right? And why doesn't this work? This should complete the puzzle, shouldn't it? What am I... Oh, wait, what did I do there? Oh, damn it. What? How did I... Oh! No, actually, I just need to put a... I totally mixed up the bricky with the loopy here. My brain is not working properly anymore. Thank God that didn't interfere with the solution. I just saw the T section. I can't have that because I was in bricky mode at that time and I just drew over it. While in fact I had to draw a border there, but thank God it didn't interfere with all the rest. Is still applies, right? Even though because of this I thought I need bigger than 2, 3. Actually, it helped me with this here. Bigger than 2. I knew that I have to extend it there. I would have had to use another deduction there that I can't move up there. And I have to move there. Doesn't help now. Doesn't matter. Sometimes a mistake helps. A mistake helps also. Man. It's difficult to keep concentration solving all these puzzles in like one go, but it's also fun, so I'll do it. Oh yeah, this one is a difficult one also. Well, I mean, the basic mechanic is clear, right? You have the same grid or the same layout on both sides of this grid, but on one side you have to create big numbers, on the other side you have to create small numbers. Now, generally speaking, it would be possible probably, I guess, to create something where you have to fill in the same shapes on the top and in the bottom, and like here everything is bigger than there, but in this case it's not the case, so buckle up. Let's start with this one here. Here you have 1 to the south only, and you cannot do that like this. This would complete the clue, and you would have 1 here that can never be bigger than anything down there, right? So you have to go down 1 here, and then you need to add 2 to the side also, right? You can do that like this, could also do it like this, or like this. That's actually unclear, but if you do it like this, you can see that this clue cannot be completed anymore, right? Because you can only go 2 to the top, so that can't be it. It must be this one, yeah? So this is the biggest thing and the only thing you can create with this clue without creating a region of 1 beneath it, right? So this must be the starting point, meaning that here, like, you can't go up there because you need at least these 3 more. That's the smallest thing you can create with this compass symbol, and that's 5 already, yeah? So you need a border here. Take this away again, and also because you can't combine them because of 3 and 2, you can also draw a border there already. So it has to go here, and then you have 3 all in total, which can only be completed like this if you want 2 to the top also, right? Yes, I think that's it. So you have a 4 here, which means here you need to create something bigger than 4. You need to move out first of all. That's 3 already. And then you have this here, the 3. That's pretty obvious that you need to use it. Otherwise, you would have to move here, and then you would have to move the 3 all around it. And it wouldn't even be enough, like the 4. You would need 5, right? At least like this, which means you need another 4, and the 3, that's all total crap. You can't just connect the 3. It's pretty darn obvious. But it's still not enough. So you could think about going into this direction here, which means you would in fact like have to add 4 tiles to this side. But the problem being, what was the problem with that? I don't even know. There was a problem with it. You can't use these tiles anymore. You can't use any of these tiles then. Which means, like, if you take this one, you can only take this one more. You can't join this one. You also, well, this one could be completed, obviously. Wait, take this away. So you would have to go up there. Yeah, that's the problem. You can only go here with the 4, which means you can only use this tile. You can't go up. You also can't go down because you already have 3 south of this compass symbol. And if you go up here, like, you can't even, because you already have 4 tiles to the west of this compass symbol. So that's not an option. You can draw these 2 lines actually, because the 3 also can't be extended. So in order to make this bigger than 4, you need to move up here. And then there's basically 2 options, I think, because you already have 2 here. You can only add 1 more to this side. If you do that, then you would have to add 2 like this. If you don't do that, you would have to add this one up there. Those are the 2 options, but this we need for sure. But that's 6. No, it's at least 7. If you have this tile here, if you have the 1 tile here and the 1 tile there, it would be 8. So let's keep that in mind, because now we can look at, I think, this here. And what is the smallest thing that we can build up here? Like this 2 will have to move there. Again, there's no use about thinking about going there, because here you can't even go there, right, with the 0. So you have the 2 here. You already have 1 to the left of this symbol, so you need 2 more. The smallest thing is this that you can build. The alternative here would be going there, and then you can add 2 more here and 1. No, actually 2 more here, yeah. like this. And then you can complete this like that, right? This is actually the same thing that we're building up there, right? It's the same shape, that's the maximum shape, right? So this can't be, because we can never be bigger than that at the top, above it, right? So that's not an option. So I think, as far as I can see, the only other option is this. And that must be the right option then. It's the smaller one of the two. So instead of looking here now, I would prefer looking at this one. Because what is the smallest stuff that you can build here, actually? And here you need to go 2 up, and here you also need to go 2 up. Yeah? So sort of combine them with this one in the middle that fits sort of like, right? You have 1 more, you have 2 above. Here you would create a region of 1, that is no problem at all. And that's a very safe bet, because there is nothing smaller. Also, you cannot complete the 2 like this, right? If you complete this 2 like that, you will not be able to complete this anymore. Because, like, you would have to go through this clue, right? But you already have 2 to the left of this one then. So it's pretty safe to say that this one is the final shape for this one. So you need to create something bigger than 5 here. And I think it's easier to go this way instead of looking at the 4. It's difficult to see what you need to do with that. So let's look at the 3 and 1 here now. This, for the same reasons as here, you can't complete it like this, because you create a 1 here, or you would even create a 2 only. That's the maximum you can move to the side. You need the 1 down here. But what to do with the 3 then? Like, yes, you can do something like this. That's not enough even. You could combine it with a 4, but that's still just a 5, right? And you couldn't add anything up there. You couldn't add anything down here, because you already have 1. So that's not an option. Yeah, you can potentially use this one here, but you definitely have to move up here. There's no way around that. And that gives you like 2 to the top of this one first of all, and 3 to the right would be something like down here, right? You're basically creating the same shape like here, but you add 2 more, right? It's actually the same, yeah. And I think that's in fact the maximum you can get out of the top here. There's no way you can get anything more than this. And now if you look at the 4, it makes sense, because before, and that was difficult to show, you were able to do this here to get these 6, but here you have 6 already. You need 7, and as soon as you add this symbol, you can't get more than 6 here. So you must not use the symbol to be able to go all the way there, and that you can do that to get the 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's much easier to show once you have this shape completed. Yeah. So like this, it all fits perfectly, which is a very strong indication that this must be the right way to solve this, and there is no mistake sort of as far as I can see. So here the 3 has to be completed like this now, because you can't extend it there. You have 1, 2, 3 to the left now, 3 to the bottom, and here you need 2 to the top, and you have 3 to the right here, so that also fits. Here you just need to make sure of these ones here. You have 3 at the bottom, can only be done like this. The 4 to the right is then the shape we found there before, right? It's the same, that wasn't enough, it was also 5, right? That fits very well. And then you have 2 and 1, can only be done like this, and that completes the puzzle. We are at, what are we at, 5 or? Yes, we are at 5s, right? I solved 2 of them. This was a 5, right? Yes. I'm so lost there. This is really unbelievable. There's another 5. That's a brown one, yeah. Oh yeah, this one. I actually don't know why this one is a 5, but I'll tell you all about it in a moment. But maybe I'm deducing something wrong. Yeah, this is because of the loopy thing, right? And bricky means that you also, like, these things can't touch. First of all, we can fill this one in because this one cannot extend there. Now, this is how you would usually start this puzzle, but it's much better to look at this one here, the 5, right? It is right on the edge. So, given the loopy mechanic, you first of all, you have to move up like this, and then here, going around the corner, you need to take at least these here. Oh yeah, that was my flaw actually in deduction, because I just drew the frame all around it because of loopy, but you only need to be on the inside. That's true. So given that you're touching this clue here, you need to include it in your pattern, right? But that means you need to extend it by 3, right? You could think about this, but that's not enough. So you need to extend here. Like if you extend here, you will create a T problem, yeah? So you need to extend here, which means you can't extend there because you need to go around this corner now, yeah? That's actually the right way of deducing this. If you did one like this here, you would create the T problem here. So you need all of these for this, then you need to move all the way here. You need to include the 4 now, yeah? And what else? Here you need to go 4 to the south, right? So if you were to go here with the 2, that would sort of fit, right? You have 4 to the south, but all of a sudden you have a problem with the 3. You have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's not an option doing that. So the 2 must be separate, yeah, like this. I can already lock this in. So the only place to get the 4 is here, yeah? So why not do that? Very simple. Just go all the way here. You have the 7 to the right, and you simply have to combine the frame thing, and it's done, this puzzle. You here need 6 to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You cannot touch this part here, right? You can extend this one by 1, and here you have a simple one. That's this puzzle. But it's good that there are some easier puzzles. That was a 6, right? Yeah. That's another 5. Okay, let's start with these borders here. This one I've also found very, very difficult. I think these are all the starting clues. So let's look at this one here first. This one cannot be completed like that, because you're cutting off the 2. You will never be able to get 2 to the south here, right? Alternatively, you could do that with the same problem, meaning you cannot use any of these tiles. You have to combine this shape with that one, which means also that you have this border here for sure. Then this one must be 2 like this. There is a single region. We can look also at this here, I think, because now you also can't complete the 2. You can only complete the 2 like this, meaning you have a problem here with the 3, right? And you couldn't extend there to do that, so that means you can't extend this up here. You need a border there. You can also see that you can't have a border here, because then you would need another color spinning all around it, and you wouldn't be able to complete this one now. You only have like 2 here. You would have to move all the way there in order to have 2 more regions here, right? And again, you couldn't complete the 2 anymore. So that means you need a border here as well. So let's look on the other side now. Here you can only have 1 here or 1 there, which means you definitely need this. So you need to combine these groups here. And again, you can draw this border here, at least until here. You can't combine this now because you wouldn't be able to complete the 3. So you have to move here and then either there or there. But you don't know where actually. But you can see that you can't move the 1 down here, because then you would have to add another 4 tiles to the west of this one to comply with this clue. And you also can't move here, because again you would have the same problem. You would have 4 tiles to the west of this compass symbol, but you're only allowed 3. So in fact this one can only be fulfilled either here or there. But you can't simply do it like this, because here you see the 3 would have to go here, which leaves only 2 on this side. So that doesn't work. You also can't move all the way around the 3 here, which is a very good indicator already that the 1 has to go through the 3, right? And you also can't do that, because you have the same problem here with the 3 and the 3 on that side with those 2 3s, right? So indeed, you need to find a way where you use the 3 going all the way down here, and you connect the 1 to the 3. So let's look at this situation here now, because this line is quite important in this puzzle. You need to extend 1 here to the right, either here or here, and 1 to the left. Now you could do, like, can you do this? That's actually the main question. And it's pretty easy to see that you can't, because then, well, first of all, you would need another color here, right? And actually, no, you don't need that, because you can not complete the 1 anymore now. You can't go here, and you also can't go there anymore. You can't combine this, right? That's too many. So that's not an option. That's the easiest way to show that you have to do this here. This one is complete now. This one has to go here, because here you need an entirely new color, and you need 3 here also, right? So if you were to do this, you would again have the problem with the 3 being here, cutting off the 2. Right? And also you couldn't complete the 1 anymore, because you have 2 to the south of the 1 there. So that's not an option. You need 1 here. And then for the 3, you can only move 1, 2, 3, because you need 1 here also, right? Yes. That's it. And you need to move around here. You need 3 to the side here. And we need to combine this one with this one. Let's try if we can combine it directly. No, because of this symbol here. It doesn't work. But this one has to move out of here at least. And now you can see that these 2 have to be the same region, right? So this one must be a separate region. So we have 1, 2, 3 regions. Let's select this a dark blue as well. Yeah, to see that better. And this one here, like this. So these 2 have to be connected. And you can perfectly connect them through the 3, like this. Yeah. And now to finalize the puzzle, you only need to draw in this border for the 3 watchtower here, right? And you can see that you can easily complete the whole thing like that. Okay, I hope that made sense. But yeah, it's a very difficult puzzle. And I think there was something here, yeah, down there. That was the one I was looking for I don't know how many minutes. How many do I have now? Is this the last one? We have 32. Yeah, that's the last difficulty 5 puzzle. So here we go. Yeah, let's draw on these here. Borders. Like this, like that. Like this. And then for the loopy part, we need all these here. No, like this. Come on. Oh, man. My hand is getting a bit stiff already from all the clicking and video recording, whatever. Yeah, I think this is all the starting clues. Now, first of all, we can combine these 2 sections here because of the loopy thing, right? Then we can look at this here. 2 to the top can only be this. 4 to the right must be this. Because if we didn't use this, we wouldn't have enough space. We would have 1 to the bottom, 2 to the bottom, and we would need 4 to the right then only. So that's why we need this here. And we need all the remaining 3 on the left side of this compass, because, like, oh yeah, that's what I forgot. This is already done, right? 2 and 1. We can also draw this border there. So it must be this. 4 to the right, 3 to the bottom. That's complete. We need a border here and there. What else here? We can look at this 4 now. That cannot be part of this one, because we would create a loopy situation here. So the 4 needs to use these 2. Right, there's only 3 left here. I could use these 4 also, actually. No, I can't, because I'm only allowed 1 to the left. So that's not an option. I need the one. I need these 2 up here, and I need to connect them like this. Ah yeah, I also forgot this border there that I had to draw already. So now it makes sense, right? I can perfectly wrap around this corner, which I have to do once I go up anyway, and then I can just add these borders here. And now, since we have 1 to the left and 1 to the right, let's also add this border there. We can only move the 3 straight down, like this, right? So now here we can't have a border anymore, so this has to be like this. What else? Here we need to wrap around already, like this. And this has to be part of this region because of the T situation there. Here we cannot have this, we need to combine this. And here we need 2 to the top, that must be this. So we need to go 3 down and 1 to the right. So the one to the right can be here or here. We don't know. But what we know, even if it's here, we need to move this one down to prevent a T there. And if it's here, we need to do like this, right? To prevent the T, where is it? Here, yeah? Here, the T, right? So we can already have these in there. And here we need this. And then we also need this then. Which means this also has to go there. Here we also need a border. Oh, we can look at this one now also. We have 2 to the right, can only be this one, and 3 to the bottom, can only be this one. We have the 2 to the left and the 1 to the top automatically. This one is complete. We need a border here and there. And now we can have a look at the 7. Actually, we can have a look at the 1 here to the right. Like we can't combine this one with the top bottom. This is 5 already, we can't combine this. So the 1 to the right can only be this one. And here it also can be combined with this clue, by the way, right? Because of 2 to the top and here we have 4. So that doesn't work. There is a border, which I could have drawn in before already. So we have 1 to the right like this. That's the only option for this clue. Which in turn means, what does it mean here? That here I can't have a T in this section. I need to complete this compass clue here like this. And then this shape is like this. We need another border there, which means we need to wrap around it here. Yes. And now this is not possible, right? Because we would create a T here. That one is complete there. Could have all done this before that. Doesn't matter. Here we can look at the 7 now, because there's only one way to get it. You need to use this tile. You need to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the only way to get 7 tiles to the right of this compass here. Okay? And you need 9 to the bottom. You need to add this one for sure. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's exactly what's available. So we can add this one also, and we need to draw these borders here for the 7. Then we have 9 to the bottom, we have 4 to the left already, 1, 2, 3, 4, so this clue is complete, right? We have 2 to the top also here, right? That's all done. Now we need to look at this. We need 4 to the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 8 to the left, we have 3 already. Since we can't move there anymore, so we can draw these borders here now, like this. So we need to move up, that's the 4th one. And then we need 4 more to the top. So I can't go there, that's the main point, right? Because I need 4 to the top and 4 to the left, that must be up here, somewhere in this line. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, wraps perfectly around this one. And also this one wouldn't be, like we couldn't complete it like this, because then here we would create a T problem. Yeah. So that's here and fits perfectly, right? And then here you need 2. That must be this region. And then you simply need to complete it like this. Yeah. Okay, we've got 33. Yes, there are 4 difficulty 6 puzzles left. The first one we solved in the beginning, right? That was a difficulty 6 here. This one, wait, this is a 7 here. Oh, I didn't write this down. So there are 4 difficulty 6 and 1 difficulty 7, I think, yeah. So let's find the 6s first. First one being this one, I guess. Check the time. Oh, wow, it's late. Let's see. We have Bricky, which means we can draw in all of these clues already. This one, 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 and this one. And let's also fill in these for visual reference. So So where to start here? I think the best way to start is by looking at the 6 here. Meaning, like, the main question that I ask myself is can I actually have the bigger number of the 6 here that would need at least a 7? Meaning I have 1 there. This could be anything up to 8 then, right? Because that's 9 in total. But here I would need 7. Okay, and I have 8 tiles all in all, because this one is taken already. I could have 7 for this one here, right? Because I could have an 8 here, so that would work. And I could put the 7 like this, so because here, like, I need something else anyway than 7. But here I would need an 8 at least. And the 8 here, you can only complete like that. And then you see that with the 2, that doesn't work anymore. So there's no way to fit the bigger number of this difference into this field here. Yeah. Let's undo all of this. Indeed, this must be a 3 then. It can't be bigger than a 3 then, because if I have a 4, I would have to put 10 tiles, 10 or mark 10, create a region of 10 tiles in here. It's not possible. The biggest one I can have is 9. So this must be 3, and this must be 9. Okay. So now we can see that here we need a 4. The 4 cannot be completed like that, because here I'm only allowed 3, right? 1 plus 2 is 3. Which means that the 4 must be this one, and it is complete like this. And it's also smaller than 9. Yeah. Here I need 3 because of this difference clue, which means here I have 1. Now here, you don't know, but we have the bricky thing, right? I can't have this, I have to extend this. So here we have 4 bigger than 3. I can't extend that any further if I don't want to offend this clue, okay? What's next? Here we have 1, and we need the same thing here, which means for the bricky reason we need another shape like that here. And now we can look at this here. I can't have 1 here, right? Because we already have 2, which means that this tile has to be taken over by this clue here. Which means we need at least 4 here. But we need something smaller here, so we need to draw this border. And then you can see, what was it, that this is not possible, I think. Yes, this is not possible. Let's make this a different color now. Because you had 3 bigger than 2, which means you can't extend this region anymore. Can't make it bigger, which means you have a border here, and that's bricky. Let's change the color again to see that better. That's not allowed. Which means you have to extend this region into this empty tile here, which creates a 5. Which means here you also need 5. With this border here, it can only be done like this, and there is a single tile that is smaller than 5. Now here you need something bigger than 5, and here you need a 2, right? Which means you can't extend this anymore, because that doesn't fit, right? With the 3 difference, you need this one, and you need 2 in here, but this could be bigger. This could be 3 or 4. So let's look at what now? This tile here. You need something bigger than 3. This one is all sealed off, so you need to come from here, which means this one has to be at least 4. Yeah? Could be 4 or 5, with this being 3 or 2, right? So the question to ask here is this possible? Can you make this 4? Basically you can make this 5 then, right? But then you would need 5 here also. But you only left 4, and you would need 4 here, so that is a contradiction through these 2 symbols here, right? You can't make this a 4 here. This must stay 3, which means here you have a 5 then. Okay? 5 like this. Yeah, what I didn't talk about is that, but I thought I overlooked it because it's so obvious. You obviously can't do this here, because you need to be bigger and the same at the same time. That's not an option, and that's why this has to be 3 and this has to be 5, okay? That's what I overlooked, like that. So now, because of the bricky thing, we need to extend here first of all. So we need something bigger than 3 and smaller than 5. That can only be 4. Yes, we're down. So the only way to do that, apart from this, you can't do it here, because then you would need a 5 in here. You can't create that. Or a 3. That would be possible, but you have 1 here then only, and that doesn't work, because 1 is smaller than 3. We could do this, but then you would also need a 2 here, which is still smaller than 3. You could also do this here separately, 1, but you would still end up with the 2 here only. So that doesn't work. Yeah? All this to say it doesn't work. Also, by now you have the 3 fixed. You need the 3 here anyway. I didn't think about that. That because of the bricky you need to extend this. So the only way to do this is to extend the 4 into this center piece here. And then we need a difference of 1. That's 5, right? Which means here you need 3 only. 1, 2, 3. And then you have 2 here. And that's how this puzzle is done. So what else do we have? There. So we need this. Because we have loopy, right? And the rose windows. Let's fill in the other colors first. We have blue here as a color of choice now. And let's see what we can do. We can start here with this one. You can't combine this because you would have to create something like this here or even like this here, which is not allowed. So this has to be blue. Which means, first of all, I need violet here and here. And that also means that you can't join violet here, because again, you would have violet on opposite sides of an intersection. And because of this, you need a border here, which means you can't combine them anymore. Which means you would need blue here, and you're cutting something off in this way, yeah? So it doesn't work. This has to be blue. Oh, no, not like that. This has to be blue, like this, with a border here, which means here you need violet. This one has to move into this direction, which means here you need violet also. Now here you need blue, because like you already have violet on 2 sides of this border, right? Now here's something that I talked about in a different video, which is important for these. Once you have a color on one side of these straight palisade symbols, you need the same color on the opposite side, and the other colors like this. This has to be blue, like this. Because either you're connecting blue, violet here, like this, like violet was here. Either you're connecting violet like this here, which means you need blue on these sides, and if you have violet there, the only way to connect these 3 is with blue then, right? So these have to be blue, these have to be violet. In any case, I will get back to this later with the other symbols when I think about it. Anyway, this one here. Wait, is there something else I can deduce here? No, I don't think so. This one has to move out of the niche here in order to connect to the rest of the group, which means I need these borders here. Blue has to spin all around it. Even if violet goes there, it still has to move on here, right? And in fact... No, that's possible, I think, yeah. Yeah, I can't have violet here anymore, right? Yes, I can. Yeah, I can. No, sorry. There was something else that I saw now. Wait, what is the next step? Oh, this one here, which I didn't see. That's definitely blue also for the same reason as this one above there, right? So we have this connection. Now we can see that we have to connect blue here around the corner. This one has to be then violet and connect to the rest like this. Here we need violet. Here you have 2 sides already. I can't add this one, so I have to add blue here. And this has to be violet because of this symbol. This one has to move out. There is a border here. This must be blue. They have to be connected. There was something else here. I don't remember what though. Yeah, I can't connect blue like this here, because then I would need violet here. And again, we would have, because of this symbol, I would need blue here. and we would cut something off like that inadvertently somewhere else in the field, but that doesn't work. Okay, these two blue tiles must be connected like this, with violet being inside here. There is a border, which means blue has to go all around it and connect to this one here. That means here we have violet, this one is blue like this then. Here we need violet, and now we need violet also here because of this sign, and blue on this side. Here we also need blue for this symbol. And this one cannot be violet now because we have violet there. We would need blue all around it, right? Because again, we would need blue here, we would cut something off. This has to be blue, which means we have a dead end here. And blue can only connect to the rest through this one or through this one. But we need violet all around here first of all. And now you can see that this one cannot be blue, right? Because we would create this with blue. This has to be violet, like this. Which in turn means that blue needs to be connected through this straight symbol here, this thing. Violet is connected here. Here we need blue. Here we need violet, blue, and blue, right? Because we had this violet already. Here we also need blue. This has to move around the corner here because of this symbol. So these are connected. This is violet here. Must be connected to this group through this corner symbol, which means the blue has to move here in order to connect to the rest of the group. Even if it goes there, it still has to go here and then go through this straight palisade symbol. And the only possible connection is somewhere there. But now you can see that this can't be through this thing here. If I do this, I'm losing the connection. Like also like I would need violet here, and it's not possible to connect this. So this must be violet, and blue is moving all the way around it. Like this, with a border here. Now we need blue here because of this symbol, and violet on the other two sides. So this is violet, like that. This must be blue. And yeah, this cannot be connected to blue through here, so it has to be connected through this straight thing. Violet is here, and the main blue is there. I hope this all made sense. I'm keeping myself a bit short. I'm not explaining too much. I mean, the basic ideas I'm trying to explain, but or important concepts, but like it's so long already. Like I started, what was it, like 2.5 hours ago, and I still have quite a couple of puzzles to go. And actually in 30 to 40 minutes, I wanted to bring my son to bed, so I hope I can make this, but I doubt it. So let's see. We have 1 here, so that means we need 2 here, we need 3 here, we need 4 here, and 5 here, like that. Okay. So first thing is we can draw these borders here because 2 and 3 cannot be part of this group. That is going to be too big for these two. Next thing to ask was, is it possible if the 3 can go down here, I think, yeah. Because then the 4 would have to be completed like that, and I would need a 3 here. Which, no, wait, there was something else here. No, there was something else here that didn't work. What was it? I need a 1 here and a 3 here. I don't see it now. Let's not do this now. Let's first focus on this one, which I forgot. There is a 9 here and a 2 here. Okay? Like this. Let's make this a bit more readable. So what was the clue here? If I go here, I need an 8 here. Yeah, I think that was it. If I move down here, then I would need 8 here, which would mean here I can't extend the 3 into this direction anymore, right? Because there's a difference between those two. I would have to move all the way down, and then the 4 would have to be completed like that, and I would end up with 1 here where I need 3. Okay, so it means you need a border there. The 3 has to go here then, And now I think the best thing to do is actually to look at this clue already. Because you see on the right side and the bottom you have 4 and 1. Can you do this here? No, because the 3 can't be completed like that anymore, right? That means the 1 can only be completed like that. You have 4 to the right and 1 to the bottom. So this is all complete already, right? And 3 to the top and 2 to the side can only be completed like that, given that you have this border here already, right? So this must be this. And now you have 8 here, and the 3 must be completed like that. 3 plus 5 is exactly 8. So that's a very perfect fit, like this. Which means here you need a 7 or a 9. Let's write that in. 7 or 9. Okay. What else? Oh yeah. You can see now that the 2 must be completed like that. Here, what was it here? If you did 4 like this, no, actually, let's do it like this. Yeah, here you need a 4, right? And here you need a 9 because of the 3. Okay. So that pretty much shows that the 9 has to move here, move up there, and now you have 7. And you can see this clue needs 4 to the right. It can't get those anymore here, so that has to be these 4. And then it has 2 to the left already. I have 8, I need 1 more. I can only add this there, because I have 4 to the right also. So this must be the 9 and the 2. And given that I have a... Oh no, wait. I want to do this here. Because I always like to clear the field. It's easier for me to focus and concentrate on the right stuff without all the scribbling there. The 2, first of all, can be completed here as well. So let's take that away again. Oh, come on. So now you can see that the 4 cannot move here because of the difference. It has to move up here, and that's one and the same here. Which in turn means that you need either a 3 here or a 5, right? 3 is not an option because you're only left with 4 and you need 5 up there. So indeed, this has to be a 5 and they have to be combined. Could be completed like this or like that. That we don't know. We have 2 left, which is the difference of 3. That works fine. So let's leave this like that and just erase this one here. So here we need 7 or 11. And this is a rather difficult thing to figure out. And like I had enormous difficulties when I solved this very late in the night once, and I just mistook the 2 here for a different sign, and I wrote in a 7 and 11 here. And if you want to have the 7 and 11 here, it's basically unsolvable, this puzzle. But I just realized, it took me like 20 minutes until I realized this wasn't even a different sign because it was so late and I was so tired, whatever. So we have to move out here. And the question is if we have to go here or if we have to go here, right? So first of all, this would be 3. Like, let's see, if we moved up here, what would be the minimum amount that I have to go through here? We have 4 now, 5. I can't combine this with this one now because we would need too many to the top. So it's 5, 6. We could do 7 here, but then we have only 2 here. That's not the right difference between those 2 regions. And like that, you could put a 2 in here. 1. No, wait, you need a difference of 4. That also doesn't work because here, if you combine this, you would have a difference of much more than 4, right? That's 4 more, that's 6. To 1 is not the right difference. So that doesn't work. What happens if you take this away? You can't go in there because then you would need 3 here. 7 minus 4 is 3. You couldn't complete this one anymore. And if you went here, that obviously doesn't work. 1 and 7 doesn't have a difference of 4. So there's no way you can complete this once you go in there. So it means you have to go all the way around here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't go down here because you need a difference of 1 only. And 1 is a difference of 6 to the 7, right? Or 11, whatever. So you need to move on here. That's 6 now, and now you can see you need to combine it with this one, otherwise this would be uncompletable. And this is complete like that, right? You have 7, you have 1 to the south here, and you have 4 to the north. So let's complete it like that. And then let's just draw the rest. We need a 6 or an 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not possible. I can't go in there. I need at least this. But 1 is not the right size. I need to indeed complete it like that. 6 and 2 has a difference of 4. Okay. So here I need what? I need a 4 or an 8. Yeah. But here the difference is 5, could be 1 or 11. 11 is highly unlikely because you have to, well, it's impossible because you have to complete the 4 or the 8 there, right? So this is 1, like that, and then you have at least 4 here. You can't go there because here you need a difference of 2, that's 3. So you need to go there, that would be 4. So let's look at the 3. Can you complete the 3 like this? Meaning you would have 2 here, because of the 1 down, right? But then you would need at least 7 here. Doesn't work. The 3 has to be this here, and it's complete like this, which means here you need 3, difference 5 is 8, and that's exactly what you need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now a difference of 3 is 5. It's a perfect fit, and you just need 2 more down here. Okay, next one. There is one. No, come on. Oh yeah, boxy and bricky we have, and the size separation. Okay, this one I also found much easier than a difficulty 6. Let's start with this one here. You have 2 to the side, can only be this, right? So you can draw this border already. It may extend to the back, sort of, right? And you can look at 4 also. There isn't 4 at the top, which means you have to include this one, and that completes this group, right? Here you need 2 to the side, that must be this then. May extend to the side, okay? Here the 4 to the top could be done like this, or like this. But you can't know that yet. No, you need to look at this one first. The 3 cannot be completed like that because the 4 would be impeded, so it must be completed like this, which in turn means that you can't complete the 4 like that because you have the size separation, right? Those would both be 8. You need to make this a 6 like this. So the 4 here can only be completed like that, and the 2 needs these 2. Could however be completed extended at the back end, sorry, like this. The 4 is complete now. The 1 needs only 1, that is complete like that. The 3 here can't go 3 into this direction, right, because of the 1 there. So it has to be this at least. May have to be expanded to the back. That's unclear yet. Here we need an extension of 1, but that may be extended to the back. The same is true with this one here. Come on, like that. What else? There was something with the 2. Yes, the 2 cannot be completed like that because of bricky. So you need to complete it like this. Well, complete it. You may have to extend it to the back, and indeed, that's something that you can't complete it here like this because you would have 4 borders meeting. So it has to be a 6, which in turn means that this 3 cannot stay like this because it was 6 tiles. It needs to be 9 tiles. Now, let's look at the 3 here. You can't go 3 in a straight line. That means you need 3 like this with these borders, and the 4 cannot be completed like that because of the bricky situation there, which means you have to combine these 2 like this. You're creating a group of 12. 2 here, and now we can look at this here. We can't have 2 First of all, we need, like, we can't have a bricky situation, so we need to combine these two. Then here we have 2 already. We can't keep 2. 4 we have here already. So we need to make this 6. 6 we have here already. We need to make this 8 at least. Could it be 8? Then we would need 3 down here, but we have 3 there already. Yeah? So this has to be 10. And here you have 1, 1. That's all fine. Here, because of this T intersection, we need to extend this to a 3. This one cannot be... no, it can be 3 like this, actually. What's the next thing here? Can this be 3 like this? No, because of this bricky thing here. Yeah, so it has to be 3 like this. Can be completed like that, because it can't extend to the back. Do we have to extend this here? I need to extend this because of this T section here. And I can't have 3 again next to each other, so this has to be 4. Which in turn means this one can't be 4, it has to be 6 at least, but we have 6 here already. So it has to be 8 at least, okay? But it can't be 8, so that has to be 10, like this. So the 4 is completed like that, with the potential to extend it to the bottom. And indeed we have to, because of the 6 here, right next to it, like this. The 2 cannot be completed like this, because we would be cutting off the 4. It must be completed like this. Then we have 4 to the top here. 6 must be bigger. 8 here must be bigger. Oops, bigger I said. Like this. Yeah, I found this very easy to deduce, as long as you keep the clues in mind, especially the size separation. I would give this a 4, or even a 3 actually, difficulty, I don't know. But I mean, there was this difficulty 4 loopy puzzle that was so much more difficult than this. I think I don't understand the rating sometimes here in this game. Or the ranking, or whatever you call that. So I did this down there. How many did I solve by now? 37. Oh, that's all difficulty 6s. What? I solved so many? 4 of them already? Okay. So there's only this one left. Difficulty 7. Bricky we have. So let's fill in all of these here. No, wait. This is only in loopy, sorry. Bricky means this one here. And this one. This one. This one. And this one. Okay. You can also draw this border there. Here, 1 and 1 can only be completed like that to this side. Maybe extended to the left side. That's unclear. Anything else? Obviously there is a border. No, that's... oh yeah, we can look at this one here first. Or let's look at this one maybe. 3. This has to be 4. No, let's start with this one here. Because if you look at the clue to the right and to the bottom, you obviously can only do it like this. Like you can't move around here or around there. You don't have the juice for this, basically, with 2 to the bottom and 1 to the right. So that part of this shape is complete like that, yeah. Which in turn means you need this here to prevent the bricky here, and this here to prevent this bricky. Also, you need to go up there now to prevent this bricky thing. You have 3 here now. This has to be bigger than 3 already. This needs to be 4 at least, which means this... no, this can stay whatever it likes to be. There's something else to deduce. Oh no, here, this one also. To the bottom and to the right, we have 2 and 1. If I do this, I can't complete the 2 anymore. I have to complete it like this. At least this bottom right part of this clue. Which means that I need 2 here first of all to prevent this bricky situation. And now, if we look at this clue here, there is no way to complete this, I think, without this. Because if you don't take this part here, you would have to do something like 2. And it doesn't even matter where, because you need at least 2 more. Like for the 3. You can put the 2 here or there, right? But you could do this, and you can't complete the 2 here. No, you can't go up there. That's the problem, yeah, because of the 0. So you can't complete the 2 here anymore. Like, regardless where you put the other 2, you need 2 here, and you need to use this region for this clue so that you have 2 left. That's the main point, yeah. You need to do this, then you have 1 here or wherever, like it can be here, yeah, but you need 2 more here for this one, okay? I hope I made myself clear. It's getting difficult, it's becoming increasingly difficult to form your thoughts into coherent words, at least. Not thoughts, like the ideas are, I think okay, but it's very difficult to show this and explain it by now. Anyhow, you need 3 to the right, and then you can't do the 2 here to the bottom, because then you would need another one here somewhere. You can't go up because of this, and you wouldn't be able to go down anymore because of the 2 that is completed anymore. It means this one can only be here, so that these 2 can be accessed by this clue, okay? That's the main goal of what I was trying to explain, yeah? This is complete now, because you can't move up. And here you have 3 to the left, and 2 to the top, 2 above, right? So the 2 below must be here. They can't go left of this line here, okay? Which in turn means this one has to be at least a 4 because of the bricky situation that you would otherwise create, like this. So here you need 5, and here you don't know, yeah? This is only when we get to there. So now we can look at this. We have 3 here, at least. We need at least 4 here, and at least 5 here, and that's exactly what we have. We can fill this in and complete this section here. We need this then here to prevent the brickies thing. And what else? We have now 6 here. That means we need 7 in this region here, yeah? Now, we can do this easily, like this for instance, yeah? But how to complete the 3? Indeed, it's easy to show that we need to join this, because if we don't join these 2 regions, the 3 would have to be completed something like this, maybe. And anyway, it cuts off this exit here, and I would be left with a maximum of 4 for this region. So it doesn't work. I need to extend the 3 all the way up. And then I have 5. I need 2 more. And I can put them basically anywhere. However, I can't get up there. No, I need 1 more only, sorry, yeah? No, I need 2 more. I have 6, I need 7. I have 1 more up here, so I need to use this one also, right? Yeah. So now I have 6, and I need 1 more up there for the 7 that I need, and I can't do it here because of this bricky situation. I will have to go there, and that must be the shape for this. So here we have 2 bricky problems. We need to do this here, and yeah, we can leave it like that. Now we can look at this clue here. The 2 and 3, we have 7, and we need this to be at least 8 then, right? If we have 3, meaning if we draw a border here, we would have 3 plus 3 to the side, that's 6 only. And we wouldn't be able to get anything else than these 3, right? So this can't be. We need to add this. Now we have 5. And since this part is complete now, 2 to the top, we can only move straight left like this for 3. Okay? That's 8. That's 7. That's 6, okay? Now here we need something bigger than 2. In fact, now we need to extend this here to prevent the bricky part here, right? We need something bigger than at least 3. That's 1, 2, 3. And since we need 3 to the bottom, it has to be this, and 1 to the right like this. We have 5 here now. We could potentially extend it. But let's go on here now. If I go here with this one, I will not be able to complete this anymore, because I can't join this group. That's 3 already, right? Oops. No, I wanted to go back like this. That's 3 already, and if I go down here, I only have 1 here. Yeah, I can't do that. That means I need to end this there, and this has to be 2 and 2. Also because of this one, I anyway can't reach this this tile with 2 and 2 to this bottom right corner. So that has to be this. And then we need to look at this one here. Is this possible? No, because this one can be maximum 4, right? This section can be maximum 4. And this is already 8 here. So that doesn't work. This has to be completed like this. So now we have 5 bigger than 3, bigger than 2. We have this here that has to be completed with 2 to the right, like this. We have a bricky problem here, like that we fix like this. So now we have this bigger than that. That needs to be at least 3, which means I need at least 4. Can only be these here, right? 4, 3, oops, 3. So this can only be 2. Let's draw the border. And we're done with this puzzle. I also found this not so difficult. Again, I think the difficulty ranking is pretty strange sometimes. And very difficult puzzles are ranked only 4, whereas this one I would say it's a 5 or a 6. Because the things you can find are actually pretty easy to find. That's the thing in relation to other puzzles, I'd say. Anyhow, that's just my 2 cents. Hope you enjoyed this video and you could take something away from it. In the next videos I'm saying, I will start solving the crimson plinths. Now, as you can see, we did all the white plinths and all the brown plinths in the land, and it's up to go for these ones. I will start at the beginning of the game, so in Glimmith Bridge and Glimmith Overlook and stuff. Hope to see you in these videos. Until then, as usual, I say bye.